So I want you to do me a favor.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
What?
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys.
How much can you know about yourself? You've never been in a fight. I don't want to die without any scars. So come on, hit me before I lose my nerve.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Get the microphone, fucking fat face.
Motherfucking face. I resent being called fat and anything negative
I'm
by
sorry.
someone with double D tits.
Sorry.
All right, listen to me.
Hey, are we gonna have to compare bras?
Guy, please. Are you serious? I have way smaller. I have an A cup and they're firm-ish. You have a fucking B cup at least, that it's a full B.
You're being way kind to yourself.
We can't do the measurement because I have
maybe-
much more muscular back
Or maybe I'm
and
suffering from
upper
body.
body.
Maybe I'm suffering from body dysmorphia.
You want to do
But I
a
think-
poll in our group text and see who has sloppier tits?
Sure.
All right.
After this,
We'll
you'll
do body fat analysis. All right.
Awesome.
What were we talking about?
You were telling me a story about
We'll do that later, but let's do the Castro death. That's the most recent.
Oh yeah.
Did you celebrate? When did you hear about it? This is kind of like Kennedy getting assassinated for
thought he-
Cubans.
I thought he was already dead. For real. I mean, I thought the guy was already dead, and I didn't really give a shit.
dead.
But who cares? I mean, they-
Old Cubans.
right? But the guy's an asshole. We know that.
Yeah. Okay. Not
He's
Obama.
He's dead.
Not
What's gonna change?
Trudeau, the guy from Canada.
Well, that guy's
He thought he was a
fucking retard.
remarkable person.
I would like to. My heart goes out to the
What a
Cubans.
champion.
What a fucking asshole.
He's not an asshole. He's a communist.
My heart goes out to the people of Cuba.
Yeah, I found out I was in the movies, and he must have died like at 1 because I remember my phone going off. My phone never goes off.
This was on Friday, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think it was Friday. Yeah,
so,
Black Friday.
Right. So, no. Yeah. So then it was Marquitos saying that he died, and he put up some pictures on our group on WhatsApp
Mhm.
of he was over at Versailles. And, like, I don't go to any protests or anything, but I was thinking of going, but I was exploded tired. Somebody
Oh.
here?
Why?
Someone here?
No, I didn't see anything.
So
Relax.
I said, oh, I'm going to go over there. But then I was so tired, so forget it. I don't even care. And then I was going to wake my parents, but they were, whatever,
We'll find out
sleeping.
tomorrow.
so-
What are they gonna do? They're gonna drive to Versailles?
Yeah, they're old. They might die from excitement. So I can let them die. Let them sleep, So whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
But I saw a girl, a teenager,
Uh-huh.
filmed her grandmother. She told her, and her grandmother got up and was all happy. That was a
Wow.
nice little video. Nothing really happened. It was like clickbait. Took it over, but
Right.
whatever. It was a nice little video.
But
So,
for real though, what's gonna change?
nothing's gonna change. But that's the guy, so that's a big thing. So
But
it's something, and it could kickstart people to feel
I
like
don't
they
think
can,
so.
whatever, make a change over there. Not that
Really?
anybody over here,
I think
not too many want to go back over there.
no, nobody's going back. But I think
You got like
maybe
that
some people
front.
want to go back.
You got like that front pocket wallet.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I found that like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I gotta get that because I hate the big giant wallet,
Yeah,
and
fuck
I
that.
hate all that bullshit.
My best wallet is a binder clip.
Yeah, well,
Super nice.
I got in my car one of those like tactical fucking people. They made like it's two
A wallet
pieces
with a
of
knife.
no. It's like 2 pieces of carbon fiber.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a hard plastic, and it's got like little cuts into it, and then they put that paracord around it,
Okay.
and then you can stick money in the front, and then you can put the cards in between. That way, it's kind of protected.
Interesting.
So that's a good little thing that I was using for like 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
But then I found this like this weekend or last week.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Phone wallet.
Phone wallet.
I didn't know this existed. This has existed. Because I looked it up and they have it on Amazon for a bunch. It's a fucking sticker with a little silicone pouch, and you can fit like You know, they say like a couple cards and some cash or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but I got like 5 cards in there. I jammed them in there. The thing might break or whatever, but they're like $1. So,
Right. The thing I don't like about that is that to use your phone, you need to take your wallet out, and now
I don't give a fuck.
everyone's looking at your
I'm armed, guys.
Mac.
If you want
Your
to try to
money
take my $6 that I literally have
People don't
$6
know,
here.
though.
Yeah, whatever.
You're like, look at that fat stack of cash.
Yeah, the fat stack of $4. But I love that thing because I got a ticket recently for not having my license because I left my license in my pants.
You need to have all that shit with you.
No, I know, but it makes it so I'm always have the phone with me. So it's one less thing to carry. And now I think I'm gonna stop wearing. I'm doing the dad outfit.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
wearing the same
I
outfit.
have like 10 pairs of cargo
Cargo
shorts
pants,
because it's hot in Miami and
Right.
you can fit like a jar of mayonnaise if you ever need to. Not
Right.
that I do that. Not that that's ever happened. Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. But today I had a big bottle of Gatorade in my pocket and it fit.
Right.
But that was because I used to take a giant wallet, a gun, a fucking all this shit. It's a lot of stuff.
In your pocket?
So
You got
now,
the gun in your
yeah,
pocket?
pockets. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
now I put it in the pocket. But if I don't need a wallet, now I have. So it's one less thing. So now I
Right.
can wear small shorts and I can show off my girlish figure,
Damn.
my A cups, and my size. It's a very whatever.
We should go get fitted for bras.
Yeah, remember from Seinfeld, Bros?
I know. Yeah.
That was a whole episode where Kramer
George's
like
dad.
came up with it. Yeah. And he's like, "Look at how it lifts," and, you know, whatever. It gives you confidence. Shit's awesome. Ah,
All right. So
that's
going back
great.
to the
All right.
the Castro death.
Yeah. So
Yeah, shit's not gonna change. I mean, in order for shit to
it
change,
could.
people need to get upset and they need to wake up and they need to fucking
Well.
do shit. But it's been fucked up for so long that people the last people that remember shit before Castro, like when Batista was around, which that
Yeah,
was
those
still
are
a
my
shit
parents.
show. They're almost fucking dead.
Yeah, those are my parents. 75, 80.
Yeah, man. There's like
Yeah.
and the stories that the younger people who would actually do something about it, it's like
Well, they killed them.
no, but
Well, they got rid of them.
right, but it's like
Yeah.
you hear your grandparents talking about, oh, it was great before, and then this and that.
Well,
And if you're not around,
they
these
had
ideas-
a dictator, Batista, but he was friendly to the U.S. government. And
right,
you know, you have to be somewhat rough to keep power in a place where they'll kill you in 2 seconds, you know? So
Right.
he had his enemies and, you know, he was whatever. Probably also a dictator to some extent. But,
He
I
was.
mean, anybody can make an easy argument that he was a million times better than somebody like Castro, a communist who kills people for nothing. And maybe Batista killed some people or did some horrible things too, but I have pictures. My mom has pictures of her family, and her father was a doctor. And they're all in suits. This is Havana. They're all in suits.
Mhm.
She has like a white fucking dress. They're coming out of church.
Mhm.
Like shiny shoes. My grandfather and my uncle have hats, ties.
that was the fashion.
It looks like they're in the streets of New York. Yeah,
Right.
and when you see the people in the background, it's like everybody has hats, fucking hats, jackets. Right, this is
Right.
pre-Castro.
Havana.
She's a little girl, so she's 70 something. So this is
Uh-huh.
she probably left when she was like 20 something, 25 or something like that. So you know, 20,
you were
20
born
years
here?
before, 25 years before
Were you
Castro.
born here or over there?
Yeah, I was born in Chicago.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's the difference, though, between a dictator who gets along with a giant consumer country, just, you know, super close. You know, that's really stupid. When you're a small country that produces shit they want, you know?
Right.
What they had tobacco, that sugar. I mean, they had tourism blowing the fuck up.
Yeah, it was
That-
like
you wouldn't have Atlantic City.
Las Vegas.
You wouldn't have Las Vegas. Las Vegas was created because they lost Havana. Everybody would fly down, party, go
Right.
to the beach, and then fucking fly home.
Right.
And it was a place to imagine the money,
Right.
and which they did have. It's not like I'm making stuff up. So whatever. So let's just get in a fight with the giant. It's the stupidest thing ever. So it just on economics, it's fucking retarded to fight them because of some perceived. It's make believe. It's not real what he claimed, which is like they're evil and they try to run shit. They do, but it's not in an evil, purely evil way. They do some horrible shit, But
Who's
it's
they?
not
You got to specify.
the government, the big American corporations, and sometimes together, sometimes against each other.
The
It's
imperialists.
a complicated. Saying imperialist is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's not imperialist. Because imperialists, they'll take over and then they run everything 100%. They don't even bother. No, it's like the British when they were running shit. Like, okay, we're in charge forever and go fuck yourself. And they really would run shit. We kind of do it where it's
We let you keep the name.
yeah, and you think you're in charge. It's true, though. It's true. They take over, and what they do sometimes, a lot of times, in places like Brazil and these third world countries, they pretty much come and take over.
Let's have an election. We don't like that guy.
Yeah,
No
that's what
election.
happens. Yeah, well, but I think it's still better, even though it might not be perfect. It might not. It might have a lot of things you could complain about. Whatever. All right, what else are we talking about? Castro, did you celebrate?
I mean, I sent some fun text messages, but that's about it.
Yeah, my favorite is the memes.
Of course.
I'm all about memes.
How else do you talk to other people?
All right, I don't talk to anybody. It's just me. Shit that makes you laugh. It doesn't make you laugh. What are we even doing here?
I saw this funny thing on the internet. Let me send it to my friends so they
Yeah.
think I'm funny.
Right, exactly. That's awesome.
So what else you got on your list?
We got the difference between certain people with their response to Castro dying, like Obama and like
What did Obama say? Because my mother-in-law said that he talked really well about Castro.
Yeah,
What did he say?
I mean we could look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
All right, you look Obama up, and I'll look Trudeau up.
Oh yeah. Oh, I saw the Trudeau thing.
Yeah. Whoever finds it first speaks it first.
Okay. Oh God. Statement by the president on the passing of Fidel Castro.
It's bad. I know it's gonna be bad.
This is the official release. Or did Obama say anything, or did he tweet
I
anything?
have no fucking idea.
Okay,
I don't
so-
watch the news or
okay.
TV or anything.
So this is from whitehouse.gov. It says, statement by the president on the passing of Fidel Castro. At this time of Fidel Castro's passing, we extend a hand of friendship to the Cuban people. We know that this moment fills Cubans in Cuba and in the United States with powerful emotions, recalling the countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, families, and of the Cuban nation. History will record and judge the enormous impact of this singular figure on the people and the world around him. Okay, so he's sort of neutral yet. For nearly 6 decades, the relationship between the United States and Cuba was marked by discord and profound political disagreements. During my presidency, we've worked hard to put the past behind us, pursuing a future in which the relationship between our two countries is defined not by our differences, but by the many things that we share as neighbors and friends. Bonds of family, culture, commerce, and common contributions of Cuban Americans who have done so much for our country and who care deeply about their loved ones in Cuba. Today we offer condolences to Fidel Castro's family, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Cuban people. In the days ahead, they will recall the past and also look to the future. As they do, the Cuban people must know that they have a friend and a partner in the United States of America. Super neutral, and didn't say Castro was a shithead.
Right.
Okay, let's hear Trudeau.
Trudeau's disgusting. It's to kick that fag in the face. It really is ridiculous. I'm not gonna read it. It's so long.
Oh,
It's
really?
like sucking the guy's balls and licking sweat off his nuts and his ass. It is with deep sorrow that I learned today of the death of Cuba's longest-serving president. Fidel Castro was a larger-than-life leader who served his people. He's awesome for almost half a century. A legendary revolutionary and orator. Mr. Castro made significant improvements to the education and healthcare of his island state. This guy is awesome. I can't even read this shit. This is fucking garbage. What a fucking champion.
Legendary revolutionary and orator.
What a fucking scumbag. While a controversial figure, both Mr. Castro's supporters and detractors recognize his tremendous dedication and love for the Cuban people. No, that's not true. Love for the Cuban people who had a deep and lasting affection for El Comandante. You know why they call him that? Because they'll kill you if you call him anything else.
Right.
They will fucking kill you. I know my father was very proud to call him a friend, and I had the opportunity to meet Fidel when my father passed away. It was also
Wait,
a real
Trudeau's
honor.
father?
They were BFFs. There's a picture of him as a child and the mother, and he looks a lot like
No
Fidel
shit.
at several stages in his life.
No shit.
People were just saying it's not a coincidence. It is also a real honor to meet his 3 sons and his brother, President Raul Castro, during my recent visit to Cuba. On behalf of all Canadians, Sophie and I offer our deepest. That guy's not gay. He is the gayest motherfucker
Trudeau.
that is married. He's still gay. I don't care if he's married.
That's his
Condolences
beard.
to
Come on.
Our deepest condolences to the family, friends, support, and many supporters of Mr. Castro. Yeah, okay. We join the people of Cuba today in mourning the loss of this remarkable leader. That's fucking sickening. That's disgusting.
Wow. I was looking up
Yeah.
Trudeau Castro child on Reddit,
Yeah.
and it says here Justin. This is on Reddit, and it says Justin Trudeau is love child of Fidel Castro.
That's what they were saying. And it looks just like him.
wow.
You know, that could be
Look at that.
photoshopped, but
Wow.
yeah, that's what I said. And there's like several wows.
Wow.
Looks just like him.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
the picture that I'm looking at looks just like the dude.
Yeah. It's
Holy
several stages of his life, not just like one picture,
Why just?
or it looks like it's obvious Photoshop.
Yeah. This,
There's monsters, yeah. There's monsters out there. I mean, people are really good at Photoshop.
Yeah.
They could make amazing. They'll trick anybody.
yeah. Well, I
But-
mean, you can do that with video now. You used to think video was safe. Like, oh no, don't show me a picture. Show
Look
me
at-
video.
Look at, and there's a bunch of other people that are Mexican. There's a bunch of other fucking leftist hacks and losers and wannabe communist morons like Jill Stein's a fucking retard, and all these other people who glow and they're saying all the stupid shit about Fidel Castro without knowing a fucking thing about what a monster was. Look
Right.
at Trump, who I wasn't a fan of. I hated Trump before this election because he used to go on Howard Stern. He would irritate the fuck out of me.
you didn't like
talking
him on
about-
Stern?
No, I love Howard Stern, and I never told you this.
No.
This is not didn't come up. I
No.
fucking hated Trump.
On Stern.
I would only turn off him and Elliot Offen for the same reason, basically.
That's
Remember-
gangster
Yeah.
talk.
that guy's like not. I can't take that guy.
I'm gonna give you a Colombian necktie.
Hey, Howard! He would just scream constantly. And I love Howard Stern, and I would listen to like when they would have disgusting shit about people that were crippled and
Yeah.
and things that would make you want to throw up. I would listen to that. Like I'd be laughing sometimes, crying tears. I couldn't stop laughing. But Trump and Elliot Offen, I would turn off because Trump would not stop talking about himself.
Yeah.
And the thing was like, why are we listening to this guy? He's a real estate guy. He's not before he was on TV and stuff.
Right.
He's not a celebrity. Who is this guy? And he's like, I did this.
AJ, I
and
stole
did
your
that.
girlfriend, AJ.
I did this and I did that. And he would brag and brag and brag.
Right.
And Howard would ask him like, hey, how's the weather or whatever?
Right.
Or why do you keep looking behind me? Is an army coming to kill me?
No, just checking.
So, just it was fucking annoying. So I would like, whenever they would say Trump, I'd be like pissed off. And then whenever he would come in, I would turn it off. So,
That's gangsta talk.
and when he started running like everybody else, I thought it was a joke. And
I
he
thought it
just
was
did it
super
for
joke.
publicity, which
Right.
I still think
Which he's
is
done
true.
before. He talked about it before.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll run for president.
Right. So I never watched any of his shows. I fucking hate that guy. But, I kind of started to like the guy because everybody would attack him and say ridiculous shit. And he would just stand there and kind of like take it. I don't watch TV, so I don't know. And then almost every day, people, did you see what Trump said? And I go, no, I don't give a fuck. I hate that guy, the whole story. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about him. That guy's just doing it for publicity, whatever. But watching him like take the abuse from all the leftists, which are on the same page, which they must go to a morning meeting at 4 a.m. that Obama gives to all the media because they seem to be on the exact same whatever.
Well,
It was
both
something.
sides do
But
that.
he's done most of the things that he's said and done that I've seen. They're pretty fucking right. It's the right take on most situations. Whatever. So here's his statement on which I haven't even read, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to agree with
This is
100%.
the Donald Trump statement.
Yeah, on the death of Fidel Castro. Today, the world marks the passing of a brutal dictator, correct, who oppressed his own people for nearly 6 decades, correct. Fidel Castro's legacy is one of firing squads, theft, unimaginable suffering, poverty, and the denial of fundamental human rights. 100% correct. While Cuba remains a totalitarian island, it is my hope that today marks a move away from the horrors endured for too long and toward a future in which the wonderful Cuban people finally live in the freedom they so richly deserve. Though the tragedies, deaths, and pain caused by Fidel Castro cannot be erased, our administration will do all it can to ensure the Cuban people can finally begin their journey toward prosperity and liberty. I join the many Cuban Americans who supported me so greatly in the presidential campaign, including the Brigade 2506
And my
veterans,
parents.
association that endorsed me, and the hope of one day seeing a few. See, that's the right thing to say. And all these other faggots, from what I read, wrote like just about him and a couple little things about the people. But really, what he did was disgusting, and he was anti-American and working anti our interest as much as he possibly could. And that's, instead of just going there and killing him, which we could have done at any moment, we did the embargo to try to shut him down because he was going out to all the other countries and trying to help out, destroy the U.S. and our interests and whatever. And, you want to be an enemy, let's play games. But they tried to kill him a few times, but they never killed him, whatever. So... yeah, so, little shit like that makes me like Trump, who I fucking hated, and now I don't hate him so much.
Man,
I don't fucking hate him that much.
He does a great job. I hope he does a great job.
I don't hate him that much. I mean, I definitely, he can't do worse than Hillary would have done. Hillary is human feces masquerading as a human being and doing whatever it can to make money and doesn't give a fuck what it does to the country. Plus, she's a communist and she's bought by the fucking Arabs and Chinese. She doesn't give a fuck about anything but herself. So there's no way he does worse than her. If he starts a world war first day in office, it's not going to be worse than what she would have done.
That'd be bad.
No, but she would have done it worse.
Really?
Somehow, yeah. Whatever she would have done would have been worse. And I really think we were at the cliff of human civilization over these fucking Islamists. With her election would have been horrific. In that sense, and here we have a chance to rein it back. Where I think France and some of these other countries, if they don't shape up like now, immediately, like today, they're in big trouble. So, was another Castro thing we were going to talk about.
It was Trudeau, Obama. Did Hillary say anything on
uncle,
Castro?
I found something. I don't know. I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. Let me just tell you about my uncle. My uncle's a doctor. My grandfather was like the health ministry guy for the government. So he's part of the government, but he's like the fucking doctor. You know what I mean? He's like the national.
Currently?
No, he's fucking been dead for like 50 years.
Oh, okay. Like a surgeon general, let's say.
Yeah, something like that. So then my uncle came. He just died like maybe a couple months ago. So he came to the United States. Thank you. He came to the United States to go to medical school, which in Cuba was if you had money or were a seriously good student or whatever, they sent you up here to go to school because the schools are much better, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got back, when Castro got elected, he decided to stay, and he's a fucking doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote an editorial in a newspaper criticizing. He said that he didn't like the idea at first, and he felt like it was going to be communism, and then it ended up being communism. And
he wrote
Fidel
this article
Castro lied.
in Cuba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fidel Castro lied, said he wasn't going to be communist, said he wasn't going to do all this, exactly what he did, which everybody knew he was going to do. And he did all those things, and it's not going to be good, and it needs to be something that needs to take place. Well, they go to his house and they put him in prison for 20 years for writing an article, an editorial. So that's what communists do. And then he said he was even lucky that they didn't kill him because they were killing a lot of people for less than that.
Wow.
For less than that. Like to actually say something, probably because he wasn't like a normal guy. A normal guy would have been a thought that you would have been a soldier or could have been a soldier, and they would have killed you. Because he was a doctor, and doctors are usually not, they're usually like helping people or whatever.
Right.
He said they probably didn't kill him for that because a lot of other people they tortured and killed him. And they didn't,
so he did
they
20
tortured
years?
him and shit, but they didn't. Yeah. So for writing an editorial. So that's the type of shit that they would do. And I saw a bunch of other stories like on Facebook of similar things, but with the torture ramped up and the firing squads like every day. And I saw one guy write a whole long thing. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
But
so when your uncle got out, what did he do?
He flew over here. And
so they let him out.
Pick him up.
So
yeah, they let him out.
Yeah, you're out. 20
in
years.
1980. Yeah,
your 20 years is up.
And then
how did he come to Miami though?
Jail. I don't know. We went to pick him up at Tamiami Airport. He was.
Wow.
I mean Tamiami, like the park. Like they had he came on plane. I don't know how or why or all the reasoning for it, but he. Did
he sneak out or?
No. Like they just let him. They're just getting rid of the people.
Okay.
I think it was before the Mariel. Might have been like just before the Mariel.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense. Troublemaker, get the fuck out. We don't want you.
Yeah, I mean that's not much of a trouble. But anyway, he had lost his vision in prison, and so then he comes here blind, and he goes to medical school, and he got all the certifications or whatever you need to be a
Oh,
doctor,
shit.
and he became a blind doctor for
Fucking boss.
So he just died. Yeah, he's a badass. So that's his story basically. I mean, there's a
Wow.
lot more to it, but can we turn that
Phone's
off?
ringing. I don't have
How
no
do we
idea.
turn that off?
I don't know.
Can we unplug that?
Call from something market.
Yeah, I heard that like
I don't
6
know.
times. Whatever. Just
I don't
turn it
know.
off.
Hopefully they don't call back.
So why would you call an office at 10 p.m. on a
9 p.m.
fucking- At
don't
9 p.m. on a Sunday?
I don't know.
All right. So, you know what? It's like a robocall. They're just calling whoever.
Probably.
Yeah.
¿Usted
All
tiene
right.
seguro?
That's awesome. All right. Anything else to add on the Castro thing? Oh, so I went. I didn't go because I was tired at like 2 a.m. And then, like, I never go to protests. She's like, oh, I hate all that shit. But I happened to drive by. And always, whenever there's a protest, no matter what, even if
Drive
shit I
by
disagree-
Versailles
No, the other one.
La Carreta.
Yeah, and I was like beeping horns.
on Bird Road.
But I didn't stop.
Got it.
But I heard some of our friends went the first night.
Mhm.
And then I got like free tickets to the UM game on Saturday.
Mhm.
And I had to drive out to like Kendall. And on the way back, I'm early. And I got some time, so I'm coming down Bird. And then I just fucking traffic. I'm like, God damn it, it's way back to like 97th. And I'm like, this is that fucking shit. So I go in the back roads like just to avoid it. It's super annoying. There was a lot of, it must have been a mess because that's a lot of traffic. That's like 10 blocks.
They were also offering free coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to celebrate.
But if you go over there for free coffee, you're fucking an asshole. Because
Daryl was there.
to sit there in that nightmare of traffic, unless you're really one of those people
Right.
who loves all that shit, is fucking ridiculous. Right. But this, I went to drive by like all that shit when Elion was happening.
Uh-huh. Oh, you went to the house?
I went by like it was a day or two later because I don't like crowds and shit and traffic, but I went by and it was still shit
Yeah.
up and stuff.
I've got two friends who went by there when it was going down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One of them was being interviewed by CNN, and
Oh, yeah?
he made the mistake of saying, "Well, I think in all this, everyone has made the mistake of forgetting what's best for the child."
Yeah. Exactly.
Comunista, comunista. He had to
Right.
be like ushered out. It
Yeah.
got crazy.
Exactly. What I liked is that
that kid should have fucking gone home.
I noticed something
should've gone home.
when that happened.
Go ahead.
Well, so what happened was that guy, they found him at sea bobbing.
Elian,
Yeah.
right?
In the
Elian
ocean,
Gonzalez.
right?
Right.
And it was like a big celebration. The kid was alive,
Yeah,
and
he's
he was with his
alive.
family here.
His mom
and
died.
his mom brought him over here and brought him here. So everybody was all happy that
No,
his
but
mom
his mom died in the trip, making
brought
the trip.
him. Yeah, she died bringing him over here, but her goal was to bring the kid,
Right.
and she somehow successfully, by real luck,
Right.
that happened. So
He was found by
the whole family died.
they were
except the
found
father.
by fishermen.
Some fishermen.
Right.
So
The father was still in Cuba.
yeah. So hold on, but when that story breaks that the kid's there, he's with his family. It was a happy-go-lucky
It's a happy
thing
ending.
in the news media, right?
Right.
That happens like the next day. I go on a cruise for a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I leave. I go on a cruise. And, back then, this is like the 90s or whenever that happened.
Mhm.
There's zero fucking internet. There's zero knowledge. I ain't just going on a cruise. When we come back, report the first day. There might be riots in Miami. And I'm like, what the fuck? The Cubans are, I'm
happened?
like, the Cubans. And then we were in a table with like gringos. And then they were like, oh, it's fucking Cubans. And I'm like, dude, they're not rioting. It's just bullshit, right? So then I look, and then the newspaper that they had on the ship the first day explains the story. And I'm like, how did this fucking change from a happy-go-lucky story to
Right.
sending the kid back? And why would they send him back? And okay, the father's alive, and the father wants the kid. All right, fine. But you know that the guy didn't want that because he probably wanted the kid to be in the United States. Because life over there is a piece of shit, and
Right.
people are literally getting on top of garbage, floating anything that floats to get out of there
Right.
by the hundreds of thousands, and are dead in the bottom of the ocean because they wanted to escape your life. You're basically in an island prison.
Imagine how many people have made that trip
So
or tried to make that trip.
yeah, hundreds
and
of
have
thousands.
not
Right.
made it.
Like Elian almost died, and
Yeah.
his whole family or whoever that was on that trip with them, they also died. He was because he
and
was
those people are
fucking
forgotten.
little and like a monkey and skinny, and he could hold on to a fucking bobbing bottle or whatever it was. That's the only reason he's alive. So anyway, You know he was being forced, the father, to ask for the kid back. And
Right.
then, okay, fine, you send the kid back. What was that noise?
I have no idea.
I'm always nervous. So, fine. But then what makes me laugh is the media is hilarious. Once they get like marching orders, they don't know anything. They're retarded.
hmm
The dumbest people go into communication and journalism in school because that's nothing. Sorry if you look like I just insulted you directly
No, I'm not.
because you're the podcast guy. You probably did
but
some of
there's
that.
There's some good reporters.
No, there aren't.
Really?
Where? Name one.
NPR. You like NPR? I love NPR.
I like it too.
People who do podcasts
when they
on
do
NPR. and, like,
anything that's not political, they're so see-through and bullshit lefty. They bend over backwards to shove it in everything. But when they do
I can see that.
when they do a normal story, it's good. And they got normal shit there. That's fine. It's good stuff. But then they throw in the bullshit, and then they have the drives, and then you have to turn off. Anyway.
I hate the drive. Sorry,
What's the
NPR.
point of? Yeah, the
I
drives are fucking
donated
ridiculous.
once.
But
I donated
I can't
once.
listen to it because I don't listen anymore, but I used to. Like pre-YouTube.
Mhm.
YouTube, my life. I love YouTube.
I like you.
I paid $10 a month to not watch ads
I started,
because I love
and it's
it.
awesome.
It's so worth
It's awesome.
it.
My favorite
It's
thing
worth
about
every penny.
my favorite thing about paying for YouTube, it's $10 a month, is that you don't have to have YouTube on the screen
Yeah,
to be listening to
it's
whatever
huge.
it's saying. So I can put on
Huge.
something that I want to listen to.
Yeah.
And turn off the
Yeah.
screen, and
So
then
a
it's just playing
podcast
in the
is
background.
4 hours and it's just rolling.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. But that's not the best part. The best part, you get that music thing, and you don't get ads. That's the number one thing. No ads. Think of the 30 seconds or more
They add up.
you would miss of your life. And I watch a lot of YouTube, so that's like a lot. Anyway, and when you want to see something, you want to see it. You don't
You
want
can
to fucking sit through an ad.
And if you're going to take a plane ride, you can save stuff offline.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
And I got like a bunch of playlists. I don't know if that's on free
That's free.
or not. Okay. But I got a bunch of secret playlists.
No one cares.
I do. It makes a difference to my little chubby life.
So you were saying about Elian goes back to his father.
So when I get back from a happy-go-lucky, the kids here, everybody's happy, story's over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get back, it's 180 completely in the newspaper and the media. The Cubans are evil. They're rioting here. The Cubans are evil. They're rioting here. The father wants them back. They put his sad fucking face. They are demonizing the Cubans. They put rioting. That's the word they use.
Mhm.
I remember because it was the paper that got, and it was fucking hilarious. It was one of those like daily, shitty little weekly newspaper things.
Like USA Today?
No, like a weekly, not a daily. Sorry, I messed up. It's like a little trash bin, plastic, flipped over, and it's on fire with like 20 of those little weeklies in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a guy that had kicked it into the street and lit it on fire. And they zoomed in on the fire, and then there's like one little black guy standing next to it kicking it. This is the riot that they put on the front page of the Herald. If the Herald is not, the Herald is the biggest piece of shit on the planet, but that's every newspaper. They're all run by lefties, and they love to push their agenda. And that's inventing news. That's 20-something years ago. And they're trying to push an agenda. They're inventing that because they paid that guy or talked them into doing that. Because nobody did that. Nobody lit a fucking thing on fire.
Well, right now, I mean, lots of times cops do that too. Like, oh, I'm going to start something so that we can go in there and disperse this group
Yeah,
of
but
people.
the cops are not the media.
Right,
Cops
well-
are cops.
Right, but the media wants to sell newspapers. So if there's something that if there's
Yeah, but
any
no,
sort of
hold on.
story,
Yeah,
if
hold on
there's a
second, hold on
kernel
second,
of
hold on
truth,
second, hold on second.
if there's a kernel
The
of truth in
first
any
thing-
story,
okay,
shut your
look,
fat face.
no,
If there's a kernel of truth in any story, they're going to try to run with it and make a sensational headline, just like clickbait.
Yes.
You won't believe what happens
clickbait's
after
hilarious.
number
Clickbait's
3.
hilarious. If you click on anything and it's clickbait and you don't click off, you're an idiot. What's wrong
Right,
with you? And
right.
then unfriend whoever posted that. You're a fucking moron.
So that's half my family.
yeah,
So,
I know, that's a lot of people. Yeah.
so I mean, that's what they do. They want you to buy the newspaper
Now,
to
yeah,
read the
but-
story and see is this true?
But your friend or family on Facebook is just dumb. No offense. And journalists are either too dumb to understand they're doing that, or they've lost the number one main idea of journalism is to report the facts.
Right.
Right. So what you do is you go down there. Hey, there's some people who are a little upset about Elian, and they're standing in the street, kind of screaming. They don't put rioting, and then you zoom in on a box of plastic and wood pulp that's on fire because one guy lit that on fire.
Right, but
that
people
is not
wanna
a
see-
riot.
Right, but people want to see the exciting thing that happened. If you take pictures of these are the 10 people that we interviewed for the story, no one's gonna buy the newspaper because
I
they're
know.
gonna say,
Okay, well, let's
nothing-
extend
nothing-
that out.
nothing
Extend
happened-
that out.
nothing happened
and let's
yesterday,
just
so I'm not
make
gonna buy
shit up
paper.
that us two are a crime family and make fucking link it just a bunch of lies.
not true.
None
Not
of that is
true.
true, and neither is the riot, which is not a riot. There was zero rioting happening, zero, and they're disgusting, and it's yellow journalism. Almost this election. The great thing about this election is I've known this forever,
Mm-hmm.
but there's people behind me. Is that it exposed to? I hope everybody
Uh-huh.
how fake all of the news media is, and how when they have an agenda, they'll make the news. They'll create video.
Uh-huh.
They're not reporting the facts anymore, which is their job objectively. That's the thing that they're supposed to do. They're now creating the news to serve their agenda, which they're not just choosing what to show you, which is already lying. They're actually making videos which are fake, paying people to lie, leading people into lies. They're
What do
complete
you mean
liars.
making videos that are fake? What do you mean by that?
There's evidence of them making videos that are completely fake. They did green
Like
screen
making up news?
Iraq in the first Iraq war.
Right, but wasn't
Yeah.
that government sponsored stuff?
Maybe it doesn't matter. And there's been journalists who have left, honest journalists
Uh-huh.
who have left CNN and other news organizations and say that countries buy the story. So they'll have people do a pro, say, Syria
Mhm.
piece, and then people do an anti-Syria piece, like reporters.
Hey,
And
which
then
one do you want us to run?
Yes, that is,
Mhm.
and I believe
Yeah, that
that's
happened
what
with Benghazi, I think.
everything is
Yeah.
like that. They're just whores, and they're news whores. That's what they are.
Right.
So and ratings whores, whatever. So it's all fake, and anybody who watches it is an idiot. So and Mark Twain had the best quote, which I tell people all the time because I always tell people I don't watch TV
It's a good quote.
and I don't watch. You know the quote.
Go ahead, say it.
So if you if you read the newspaper, you're misinformed, and if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. So the point is, he knew that over 100 years ago, and it's the same today. It's a fucking lie, and if you're too dumb to read between the lines and figure out what's happening, then that's your fault for being dumb. That's what you get for being dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
I concur.
So when people say, "Oh, you don't know, you don't watch the news, you're not gonna know what's happening," guess what? It doesn't make really that much of a difference.
Like, if you really want to be informed, you need to be reading a bunch of different sources.
Yeah. And you got to know history.
Yeah.
And you got to know all their tricks. Because if you don't know those things, you don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake. You
It's
don't
so
know
hard.
how they do it.
It's so hard.
You don't know how they do it. You don't know, right. So
So
and
this
you
person,
gotta be able to, I've accomplished this. You gotta be able to see instantly that's bullshit. That is such a lie. All of that is a lie. Like, there's no reality. Like these tweets from fucking Trudeau and Obama. What they're saying is so ridiculous. Even they don't believe that. It's so fucking stupid what
how
they're saying.
So, like, why would they say it if they don't believe it?
You think that Obama believes that he's loved by millions and all whatever bullshit he wrote, which I don't even listen
Well, no,
to?
I mean, I think it's a
No.
super diplomatic answer, and he doesn't want to piss people off, which is ridiculous.
I think it supports his thing of communism being good. And
Really?
yeah, that's a fucking
Really?
yeah. But you don't think so?
No.
You don't think that what he wrote is only because he loves communism and he wants to
No.
have his communist
No.
hero. He's a hero of his.
Really?
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Do you remember that little white blonde who's a guy that the press corps secretary, whatever the fuck they call that? The guy that would go in the press in DC. talks to-
the White House
Yeah,
press correspondent?
Yeah.
Or no, the main press.
Yeah, I think it's the guy before the last guy or two guys ago. Yeah.
I don't know.
The guy was blonde,
Okay.
short, and I think he had glasses.
Okay. Whatever.
They did a fucking like Channel 6 NBC interview at his fucking house.
Mhm.
just about him because he retired or stopped working at the White House or whatever. So they do a story about him. In the fucking background, in his kitchen, his home kitchen, he has communist propaganda and poster things. I mean, you think that it's fake? I looked that up. It's fucking hilarious.
I gotta see this.
I gotta pee.
All right.
I'll be right back.
So this is from a website called The Blaze. I don't know who it is.
The Blaze is that guy that was on CNN, then he was on Fox, and he's on CNN again.
I don't
That
know.
little fat prick, Glenn something.
Glenn Beck.
Come back.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, which is like libertarian. It was like in the middle,
Uh-huh.
and then when he went to Fox, he went to the right a little bit, and then I don't know what's up now. But I heard some people fighting with him or something.
Yeah,
so I don't know
think
if he got
didn't like Trump or something.
Yeah. But I don't follow enough to follow that little fat prick.
So it says here, Washingtonian Mom magazine's new profile on White House Press Secretary Jay Carney's wife is getting a lot of media coverage. And this is from 2014, April 11th, 2014.
Yeah. This is exactly what
So
I'm
it's getting
talking
a lot of media coverage, just not for the actual profile. It's the pictures found within the piece that are stealing all the attention. In one of the accompanying photos, 2 framed Soviet-era propaganda posters are clearly visible. One of the posters features a soldier in communist red sternly pointing his finger, and it seems to be a recruitment photo. Business Insider notes that in another version of the same poster, the text below reads in Russian, "Have you enlisted?" It's not a cool-looking poster either. Look at that.
Dude, that's fucking nuts.
That's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, it's like the I Want You, Uncle
Yeah.
Sam thing,
Yeah.
but for fucking Russia, in communist Russia.
Why
I mean, you
don't
think
have that in
I
your
always say
house?
communist, and people are like, you sound like an idiot when you're saying that. It's the fucking truth. They're fucking communist, guy. The difference between socialists and communists is very little. And everybody says they're okay with saying socialist, but
That's
like
awesome.
20 years ago, you wouldn't say socialist either. But now you say communist, and some people say, yeah, I'm a communist. And then some people are still like, no, don't say that. That's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. This
Wow.
motherfucker is praising Castro. These people are praising Castro, and he's a total piece of shit.
So here's
And
the
the system doesn't work is the problem. Yeah,
That's a
dude,
picture of
you
the
don't
other
have to- you don't have
poster.
to show me.
And then
I already saw that thing.
underneath there's there's two posters in the kitchen with Russian propaganda. And then another further down in the article it says Carney was also mocked for another photo featured in the magazine's profile, one that shows he and his wife, ABC News contributor Claire Shipman, talking at a podium in front of a bookshelf, right? So it's the guy and his wife in
Right.
front of a bookshelf.
Right.
Observant internet users, I love the internet.
I know. I love the internet.
I love 4chan, I
every
love
day I
Reddit.
say that.
I love
Every
those
day I
people.
say I love the
Because-
internet. It's
because
amazing.
There's a lot of people with a lot more time than me
I got a
who
lot
are
of free
willing to
time.
do
I
like
look at a
fucking
lot of
research, to do
shit.
a whole
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of research. So
Yeah, yeah.
observant internet users quickly realized that there was something off about the image. As noted by some dude on the internet, the photo above appears to have been photoshopped so carelessly that Carney's son's finger is actually visible on the other side of the photo, as if it's just floating in midair. What they did was that I guess they didn't like some of the book titles that were
Right.
in the library,
Right,
and so
right.
they just photoshopped
Yeah.
parts of the library
Right.
onto other books. So they've got
Right.
duplicates of other books, and they've got the duplicate of the kid's finger on the other
Right.
side. That's awesome.
Yeah. I always love when people do like some fucking ridiculous cat video, which is like maybe a minute, but it's funny.
Uh-huh.
And I'll watch it because I got a lot of free time. But I'm thinking, like, who the fuck made this? Like, this guy's got to be either a complete loser at his grandparents' house in a basement,
Uh-huh.
or he's at work somewhere at a desk, just hates his job. And he's watching so many cat videos that he's collected a bunch. And he got some song, and, in a couple minutes, he can make a video. But that's company time, which is 90% of the time is some company guy.
Right.
And that's my people. People making shit on the internet and being silly.
I
and
love it.
Looking up Jay
I
Carney
love
shit.
it.
Fucking as he fucking
I
loser.
love the fucking
Well, anyway, if that doesn't tell you, I mean, there's so many examples of these people
Uh-huh.
and who they are and what their aim is, and it's disturbing. Whatever.
This is awesome.
Another thing,
And the kid's finger floating
you love it.
in the
Did
background.
they do memes about it after? Because then that's what happens. It becomes a whole
Look, look,
thing,
look.
and then it's fucking memed up.
Wait, come on, fucking website.
This
So
guy's such a dork. He has a Zune shirt. You're a fucking dork.
this is the fucking worst.
I have some gay Miami shirt, but a kid gave me this.
So look, here's the kid's finger here, right? And then you can see the kid's finger right here.
That's awesome. It's really awesome. It's amazing.
I love the internet.
The internet is great. For better reasons than that.
Oy.
All right. So
So-
at least Trump, who I really couldn't stand
Uh-huh.
the day before he said I'm running for president, with all the abuse, I've learned that he's 10% less annoying if I don't have to hear him talking. And then, on this thing, at least he's right about this. So
Well, I was pro Trump when he was first talking about running for president because I was like, let's give a
Let's make it a
non-politician
joke?
try.
oh, you're
and let's see-
serious?
Yeah, and I was like, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll do a better job. It can't be
Yeah.
worse than
it's
what,
easy
how
to
it
fix
already
this.
is.
Now.
And then as soon as he started not being specific about what he wanted to do, I was like, really, what's he going to do? He's just going to make it better? How are you going to make it better? How are you going to make it better?
Actually, you know what? I just remember.
Uh-huh.
I did read his book.
Ding, ding, ding.
He wrote The Art of the Deal.
Uh-huh.
And I probably got it
haven't
for
read
like
that.
$2 because I used to go to like those bargain book places, and all the books are like $5, and I would get a bunch of
There
books.
used to be things called bookstores.
Yeah, but like used bookstores. So the
Mhm.
author wouldn't get the money, the store would get the money.
Right.
And you'd go there and they give you like $2
Like
for it.
GameStop.
Yeah, but GameStop for books, right. And one of my favorite Joe Rogan quotes, which I think is from his comedy, he said, if you want to go broke, open a bookstore in Miami. It's so
Yeah.
true. It's so true. People are retards here. But anyway, yeah, I think I read his book, and the book wasn't too annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something about the way he talks irritates the fuck out of me. And I think it's just that he's like a braggart or whatever.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, I can't stand it. So I don't want to hear him talking. But as of the last month or so, the things he's saying, I don't mind. So I don't think they're bad. I don't think anything is really wrong, even though he's whatever.
I just hope shit gets better.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see soon.
We'll see. But you know what? He's got everything now. So you should be able to pull off.
What do you mean he's got everything?
He's got the House. He's got the Senate.
Oh, right.
He could push through a bunch of shit. You know
Right.
how you fix and save the country? If that's truly what he wants to do, which I know he said, that before.
Uh-huh.
He's got the time to do it now. So the best thing to do is term limits. Don't do that.
Uh-huh.
You're scaring me. Term
I heard
limits?
a noise. I had to look.
Look, term limits. My
Uh-huh.
thing would be one term limit. And that's
You
it.
got one chance
And
to
you
do
either
shit.
got to go up because you're awesome, or you got to go out of politics. You
Mhm.
can't run for office anymore.
Yeah,
so
I've
any-
heard you say that before.
Any
like,
level, yeah.
you can't stay at
Or-
the same level.
That's my idea, but that's extreme. I would like to do that, and that would fix a lot of problems because then you don't own a politician like Hillary or anybody else, because the oil industry doesn't own them, the fucking Wall Street doesn't own them.
How would they not own them? Can't they
No,
just
because
take...
they've paid for so many unions wouldn't own them, so many campaigns, so many favors owed. Once you help somebody once, those people owe you.
Okay,
You owe them a vote,
right.
or at least an attempt at a bill to help them or whatever. And if you multiply this by several terms and several elections, and they fucking
But wouldn't
They
they just
own you.
take? Wouldn't they just take somebody small and just sort of walk them through the process?
yeah, but that's
Like,
a lot
oh, look.
harder and a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult. They could still do it, of course. And there's always things you can't foresee
Mhm.
that because people are always gaming the system.
Right.
But term limits would fix a lot of issues because you wouldn't have politicians for life.
right.
Because the system was made so that you didn't have that. You try to help the government, and then you go back to fucking work on a farm. And if you don't, also another thing they could do,
hmm
which is these things are not crazy. These are not crazy ideas. That's not crazy. One term limit.
No.
It's a little extreme, but it's not that crazy.
Well, I mean, it would get rid of funding, like people
Yeah.
spending all their time for fundraising,
Right.
and shit like that.
Right. Okay. That's another thing. The other thing is
Did you just spit in the microphone?
no. The other thing is you gotta take like Obamacare.
hmm
You know that the politicians are exempt from Obamacare? That's awesome.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's
They're
awesome.
they're also
And
exempt from using
they-
like insider trading and shit like that.
No, but this is like something if you vote something in,
hmm
you should have to do it. You shouldn't get some like fucking elite plan because you're not elite.
Right.
You're a regular person like everybody
Right.
else. They just in California they passed like more strict gun laws. They keep passing them. They're more and more strict.
Except
You
for
saw that?
I saw that. Except for so
they
they've got
tried
super
to
strict gun
exempt
laws,
themselves.
Except members
from-
of Congress.
They tried to
are
exempt
exempt.
themselves from the gun laws. So there's laws for people, and then there's laws for the government people.
Right.
Because
So
the government people are special and different.
everybody's equal, but some people are more
They're
equal.
more equal, like 1984. So you
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm. So you have to understand that that's how it is. They're when they see
By the way,
thing.
those are two really good books.
Yeah.
Super good books. 1984 and
Yeah.
Animal Farm.
So you have to see when you so there's a human being who passes a law for everybody
Mm-hmm.
and then looks at the law and says, "But I don't want to live under that.
Right.
So I'll make another law where I don't have to live under that."
Right.
That's a fucking retard.
No, it's
And
an
those
asshole.
are communists.
Well,
Those are big government people who are
Right.
almost always lefties.
I mean, it's not communist.
It's a
just,
communist-
It's an asshole.
It's also a communist thing because I say communist for anybody who's big government or lefty because that's what it ends up being. Socialist, any of that. So that's because anybody who's for freedom, whatever other person you want to call that, libertarian, Republican, whatever, you would look at that law and say that's terrible for anybody to live under, and you would never vote for that because you wouldn't restrict your ability to defend yourself and your family. Why would I care that you have a gun? I don't want you. I want you to have a gun all the time because I know you and I'm going to hang out with you sometimes. And I want to know that if something happens, you have
got
a
my back.
fucking gun
Right.
and you could potentially save somebody's life, including mine.
Right.
But why would I not want you to have a gun? It's fucking retarded.
Right.
And if the data showed, stop doing it.
I'm looking
If
over your
the
shoulder. I'm
data
protecting you.
showed
I'm
that
protecting you. I have a
people
gun next
having
to me,
guns
and
increase crime tremendously or whatever, then maybe we could change it. But it doesn't. It's the opposite. It
Right.
lowers crime dramatically. So
because
whatever.
criminals know that people
Right.
have guns in this area and they're not going to go there because they don't want to get shot.
Right. So hopefully they get rid of some of these laws that almost all the bad laws are from the Democrats. Almost
Really?
everything
So
is
if we were to
that
look
is
right,
terrible.
if we were
is
to look
from the
right now,
Democrats.
if we were to look right now
Yes.
regarding
Anything.
the California laws about gun control,
Yeah.
and not and making the politicians in California exempt from that law,
Mhm.
it'd be a Democrat.
I hope so, because if you're a Republican and you vote for that, you're not a Republican. But that happens where Republicans get into office and they'd rather stay there and vote for things that are against the principles that they should be for,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong about that because I don't follow all that shit. But sometimes you see like the votes
Mm-hmm.
and almost always, just like a generalization, heavily, it's like probably 80% of the Democrats vote horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And the Republicans like maybe 20% vote terrible. Like whatever the thing is. But some of those are skewed too. Sometimes they'll try to like railroad people, make them look like they didn't support the troops or cops or whatever the fuck.
Right.
And so they'll what those bills are a lot of times a bunch of shit is in that bill. So they'll just give it
Right.
one title to demonize these guys. So you got to really look and see what they're supporting or not supporting.
Right.
But in general, very few people, only like Ron Paul and Rand Paul and a few like Mike Lee, a few of those like libertarian type Republicans are the ones that are 100%. You could look at their voting record and they're 99%, 95% of the time voting with something that I would believe in, which is almost always like, if it's something that taxes people, they don't vote for it. If it's like
So you're
Obamacare,
saying
they
that-
didn't vote for it.
They voted against it or just did not vote.
One or the other, but usually they vote against it. And then people asked, like Ron Paul before he retired, "Oh, why don't you ever vote for to go to war?"
Mhm.
Because I fucking read the bill. Why didn't you vote for Obamacare? Because I fucking read the bill and it's a
Right.
terrible idea. So that's his answer to everything. Why did you vote no on this? Because I read it. You know what? Most of those people don't read it. They go with the party line.
Right.
And a lot of them don't ever go to. They saw that somebody like Obama had the lowest voting record. He went
Really?
to Congress at the minimum amount of days. If you had to go like 20 days, he went 20 days. If you went 19, they would like suspend you or
Right.
or
Like,
fine
yo,
you or
hey, you gotta
something. Yeah,
pick it up.
yeah. So he went he voted the least amount of days. So that was on purpose, just to get him elected into the presidency.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a Manchurian candidate. my
Manchurian.
opinion.
Manchurian.
whatever the fuck. So Yeah, that's why he did that. Because why would you do that if your job is to go and vote on these things? Why would you go, 10% of the times or whatever the minimum amount is? Why would you vote the exact minimum amount of the times? Also,
Now,
in addition, those are the two. It's a coincidence.
what would be the reasoning for that? Is that so people can't get
So he
upset
doesn't
at
make
him?
too many enemies. Yeah, so
Got
they
it.
can't hit him in the debate later on when he goes to run for president or whatever. Oh, when I first saw Obama, I was born in Chicago, and they had like the Bears were in like the Super Bowl. Or,
The Bears.
So they had a commercial and it said like, "Hi, I'm Barack Obama and I'm whatever state senator," and I'm like, "Oh, that's
This is
cool.
when you
He's
were
young
younger?
looking, huh?"
When was this?
Maybe 2010. I don't know. It wasn't that
Well,
long
okay.
ago. Or
What-
when
so-
was he elected president?
2008.
Oh yeah, that's right. So maybe 2005 or something like that.
Okay.
Right, it's just a couple years before. So I'd never heard of him, and when I saw that little video on TV, I was like, I'm gonna check this out. So I go on Google, and I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking communist. At first, I was like excited. Hey, he's from Chicago, whatever. So I go look, see what it is. Maybe he's some cool person to follow, and I'm like, oh no, he's not. Fucking communist, this and that. Fucking, he is horrible.
I voted for him the first time, not the second time.
Well, at least you're not totally retarded, but you're 90% retarded. But I don't blame you because it's hard not to fall for 95% of the media and Hollywood and everything is like a program machine at controlling your mind and decision making. It doesn't stop doing that. It doesn't surprise me that people fall for it because it's brainwashing. And when you hear 500,000 times something, it becomes the truth, and you just go along with it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like praise God, and you just go along with it. You're not gonna sit here and fight everybody who hates God, unless you're a little
That's
fat
such a good
idiot.
way to put it. That's such a good way to put it. So when people say, "Oh, bless you," "Oh, God bless you,"
Yeah,
"Oh, if God wills
Which
it," "Oh,
I'm
ojalá,"
an atheist, but I still say it.
right,
I still say stupid shit like that, which I know is make believe, which I know is complete bullshit.
right.
But that shit still comes out of my mouth sometimes.
Dios te bendiga.
Yeah.
What
I
was
just
the
say
last thing you
ridiculous
said?
shit. I
Like
say
what?
God bless you when people
Okay.
sneeze. You know where that comes from?
Right, it's
It's
just a habit.
hilarious.
Right, it's just
No. People used to think
Oh, you got a demon
hundreds
inside
of
you.
years ago that when you sneeze, you lost part of your soul. I think it's from the
I
Jews
didn't
used to
hear
think that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's retarded.
And so they would say God bless you so you could save that piece of your soul before it got too far away from you. We're
Ay, ay,
still
ay.
doing that.
That's so retarded.
That's awesome.
That's so retarded.
that we're still doing that.
Well, it's
And
funny.
it's to the point where if you don't say God bless you and the guy sneezes right here, it's rude. Yeah.
Well,
it's
there's a
rude.
lot of stuff that people
And
do.
there's nothing else like good health or
No,
something.
there's the Germans
or
have
I
that
hope-
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit, but what does that mean?
I think it means health. Yeah.
I want to look that up. It probably
Yeah.
just means God bless you.
I don't know.
But anyway, whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but a lot of people there's a lot of stuff that people do or
Yeah.
that we do,
Yeah.
or everybody does, out of habit.
Yeah,
Out of this I learned this like we're kids.
exactly.
You see your parents saying
Exactly.
a particular thing and you do the same thing.
right.
And it's
Right.
stuff gets perpetuated like that. Hey, why do you hate these
Right.
people?
Right.
I don't know. We
The
just
other-
always hated them.
The kids, I guess there was like a Ouija board movie,
I don't know.
and the kids were like watching videos about it and talking about it.
Is this when you were a kid or
No,
recently?
like right now, my kids.
Okay.
So they're like, I hear them, and then they show me a video. Look, there's a ghost or whatever, and I'm like, get that shit out of my get that shit out of
I
my
love
face.
it.
So
I
then
love
I'm
it.
like at some store, and there's like a Ouija board like right by my face.
Uh-huh.
Where I'm buying something, so I'm like, fuck it, and I just get it, and I'm like, oh, fuck with the kids, we'll do a video, we'll play with it, right?
Awesome.
So this is not a joke. Right.
Wait, did you
I-
just wait? Did you buy it and leave it wrapped, or did you unbox it and
It's like a
hide
week
it somewhere where they're
no,
gonna see
it's
it?
like a week after Halloween. I had meant to get it, but then I forgot about it, and I do a bunch of shit for Halloween, so
Right.
the shit was going on, and I forgot about the getting a Ouija board. But that was my plan, and then I was gonna like put it. What I do is I get a table. I do a whole elaborate yard thing. Not crazy. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Shit. So I do a table with body parts, and I have like
Right.
a fake head cut off, and then I dress like a doctor, and then I put the body like there, and then I'm like, this is not. And then I put like the candy And then there's like little fake fingers and eyeballs and shit.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I think there's some candy in here among the body parts. And then the kids come and
That's
some
funny.
of them get scared and they don't get the candy. So that way I only have to buy like 2 bags of candy
That's
because
awesome.
half the kids don't come up.
That's awesome.
You know, and then a lot of people just look at me like it's too much.
What's wrong with
Yeah. And
Can't you just give
it's
us
like
candy?
dark. You can barely see, you know. So they gotta like root through body parts and
Right.
bones and shit.
That's awesome.
So I was thinking of doing another table with a Ouija board, and then
Uh-huh.
if you successfully keep the ghost from coming or whatever, which
Uh-huh.
would also scare a lot of people, or at least it was something cool looking.
How would you keep the ghost from coming?
There's no such thing as ghosts. Guys.
Well, well, how would you win this Ouija board thing?
It's a
you're talking
joke.
about?
And then you just hand them candy. It's
So
a
you just
joke.
have
Don't
them
touch
sit
my
there?
wall. I don't want them touching with their germs, my Ouija board. But just I thought it would look cool, whatever.
Well, I was thinking that it'd be awesome if your kids see this thing about the Ouija board and they're sort of wigged out, and then there's just a Ouija board magically appears in
guy.
the house.
No, guy. I haven't even gotten to the story. So I
Alright.
get it, and then I'm like, it's so awesome, right? And then, I told the kids, I got the Ouija board because I text them and shit throughout the day. But they're at school, which probably is not a good idea. But then they're like, no, I had it in the car in my front seat, and I get it. And then I go, hey, I got the Ouija board. And they're like, no. They're like, serious. We hate you, my daughter. I hate you now.
Awesome.
I hate you now. And then since I know like they're being ridiculous, I sent them pictures of like cartoon ghosts, you know? This is like the day I get it, which is like a school day, right? So then when I pick them up, they're like, do you have the Ouija board? I go, yeah, it's in the trunk. Get me out of this car. We're driving. And they're like freaking out. Both of them did the same
That's
reaction.
awesome.
So then we get to my parents' house, and then they run inside and they go tell the grandparents on me. And I have the stupid game in my hand.
What do they
and
say?
then they're like,
what do your parents say?
my dad, not joking, not exaggerating, was like, don't bring that game in my house.
Awesome.
That game kills people. And I'm like, dude, really, bro?
That's awesome.
Fucking really? And I'm like, it's a fucking piece of plastic and cardboard. People go crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. This is my dad telling
I
me.
love it.
And I'm like, wow, dude, a big blow up about a fucking plastic ghost game. Awesome. So I went and I returned the fucking game because.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the people are like, oh, why are you returning it?
No,
You know, like
no.
teenagers. What?
You played this all wrong. Did they ever stay at your house?
Who? No,
kids.
you can't do that.
What?
They were seriously scared. They were telling the mother they didn't want to stay with me. They're not joking around. They're little kids, though. Them I don't blame because they're little kids, you know.
You gotta throw it in their yard.
But the problem is the fucking game is like $30. I'm like, fuck it. If they're not going to get the enjoyment. Anyway.
No dedication.
So for like a week, right before they went to sleep, I would send them the little text of the little cartoon ghost.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you. But it's not like a scary ghost, you know,
Right.
which might be
Casper.
traumatizing because they're smaller.
Right. How old are they?
8 and 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no. So obviously they're scared. So when a few
Who's older, the girl or the boy?
the boy.
Okay.
So when the zombies first came out,
Put the microphone this way, like that.
when the zombies not first came out, but the zombies, you know,
What
he was like
zombies?
5 or 6 or something like that. Some fucking TV show about zombies.
The Walking Dead?
Maybe
Okay.
that game, thing. We're
TV show.
watching it, and he's like, "Oh, this thing is awesome." And
So
I'm
your
like,
kid's watching that at like, wait, no, he's
whenever it started,
7.
whatever.
Okay.
So I go, "Yeah, it's pretty good," and I don't like scary shit. I think it's stupid. So I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually good." It was kind of like, you know, good, tense.
Comic book is super good if you ever want to read the comic book.
I don't. Anyway, so
Super good.
okay,
Ever want it.
good.
Putting it
so,
out there.
So then I don't know if it was daytime. I don't know what time that show plays, but he seemed good with it, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. I go, you want to play a zombie game? And we go and we play like Call of Duty, right?
Okay.
They have a zombie mode or
Right.
some game with a
I
couple
remember
zombie. So we're playing and he's all having fun time, or whatever. So then
Till the nighttime hits.
I think it's funny, right?
Uh-huh.
And I go, let's play with the lights out. So I turn all the lights out and he's like, I don't want to play anymore. And I go, why? You were just playing a minute ago. He goes,
Right.
no, it's not funny now. It's not funny. So
it's
then
you,
I'm
though.
like, oh, okay. When in the dark, he gets scared.
Right.
Right. So then I thought, okay, the next time that the Walking Dead came on. I think that was like episode 1.
Mm.
The second next week or whatever. I don't know. I turned the lights off just to fuck with him, and he was like, I don't want to watch this. I go, you're the one who liked this shit. Yeah, so he's scared of the dark.
He's a fucking kid.
I know he's a kid, but I remember I went to Houston when I was 12,
Uh-huh.
and my cousin, who's a son of a bitch, but he goes, oh, we're gonna go to my friend's house. It's an old Civil War house, and they had a battle there. I don't know if any of this shit's true. It's a big fucking like mansion, and it's an old redneck fucking shit. So when we go there, he goes, there's a haunted room that they never go in. It might be
Okay.
fake, what he's telling me. So I go, I don't believe any of that shit. I'm 12, right? And then he's like, oh no, this is real, right? And I'm like, dude, whatever. So then we go, and then him and his friend like take me up there, and then they like push me in the room. It's dark. There's no lights. And they fucking close the door, and they're cracking up. And then I'm just like inside the door, but I'm like, I'm fucking not scared of any of this shit. So they left me there for like half an hour. It's fucking dicks.
Wow, that's a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah, they went like downstairs. I heard them, and I'm like, these fucking guys, fucking assholes. But
Did you turn on the lights?
no, I fucking felt around, but I couldn't find it. So I'm
You
like,
just sat there.
fucking awesome. Horrified, but
Right.
it's dark and
I
it's a
mean,
big house. And
At first, you're probably like, "Oh, this sucks." All right, guys, come on.
no, at first I was trying to rip the door open and I was pissed off. But then when I couldn't feel the lights, I'm like, fuck.
Because you
sucks.
start to get panicky.
It's dark and you're still a kid and whatever, but it's not. I know there's no ghosts. I mean, don't be ridiculous, but whatever.
Poppy, are there ghosts?
Well, my kid is 11 and he's scared. Fucking chicken shit. And
Oh.
I've done 1,000 fucking times that I've explained that there's no such thing as a ghost or any of that bullshit.
And what does he say?
The only monsters are people and sharks and bears and cats.
What does he say?
Yeah, I know that. When it's daytime.
Oh, okay.
He's a tough guy with his daytime.
That's awesome. Well, he's 8.
He's 11.
All right, he's 11. Your
Right.
daughter's 8.
Hopefully he smartens up. All right, what else? I
I
got, my Fricket weekend.
Your what?
So I got Frickets, free tickets
Oh, okay.
to the UM game, which was awesome.
The
I've
Football game?
I've
Okay.
gone to maybe hundreds of sporting events my whole life. And
Did you
I've
get into a fight?
never paid for any sports event. I paid for like Monster Truck when Hunter was little.
Mhm.
I paid for, a couple of things, but not sports. And I've gone to a lot of Dolphin. People invite me, hey, you want these tickets or whatever, but I've never paid for any UM games, none of that shit. So got to go to UM game, and then they had free tickets to kids. I don't know
Oh,
if they
the
got them
truck-
from
or the
school.
car
It was like
racing
a car race, which was so
how was that?
dumb. Oh my god. There was hot
Is
bitches.
that at the Homestead Speedway?
Yeah, which is the
Cool.
first time I went. Like a friend of mine I didn't want to go, so Hunter was like telling me he's gonna take all his friends. He got like 8 tickets, and I was like, all right. But then a guy told me there must have been like a big race like a couple weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
down there. And he said he went like in a badass VIP fucking bus, and they went to like they knew somebody or they do business with some company that whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then when they get down there, it's a fucking huge line of traffic. And then they went on the opposite side with a police escort, and they fucking went up, whatever. And he's like, bro, that's fucking like hours waiting there. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to. I thought this weekend was going to be the same thing. I have no idea I don't follow any of that shit.
All right.
But it was almost nobody was there. Like maybe 500 people. The place is big, so it's like empty.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like back in the fucking
So was
pit
it
area
was an
and
actual
shit.
race or
It was some kind of
promotional
race,
thing?
which was weird because there was like Formula One cars that were like Honda Civics and shit, like shitty little cars that were just souped up, and Porsches. There was fucking
Okay, so maybe it was like a club race thing.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Miami
Like
500.
the SCCA.
I have no idea.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sometimes they have like local racing groups that do
Mhm.
their own racing, and so
right.
it's a race,
I heard like
but it's not like a
Italians.
professional thing.
I heard like Italians and like Spanish, and it looked like a bunch of foreigners, some fucking Muslim people,
Huh.
like that they had like
was
like
anybody
the
in the
cars.
stands, or was everybody in the infield?
No, there was probably like 500 people in the stands, which was pretty
Okay.
empty.
Uh huh.
I'd say like 90% empty
Okay.
the stands. But and we went like walking everywhere, which is probably better than if you just go to the stands. That would suck.
Right. So you
This
get to
was-
go in the infield.
Yeah,
all
no,
that
and
stuff.
before was you saw pictures, right? Like it was right
I
where
think
the
I
cars were.
swiped through them really fast.
Yeah, there was a couple pictures with the bitches.
I think I swiped through those really fast. too.
Yeah, so
I think my family was nearby.
there were some hoochies dancing, and I was telling my friend who I've told about the Colombia trips.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Oh, look at that bitch," and then I go, "Guy, that's $20 for half an hour, best half an hour of your life."
You can do that
And
too.
he's like, "Let's go." And then there was a bunch of like higher class bitches, a few like little teams. You know, they brought girls. I don't know. And that was the best part. But the cars were right there. The little garage where they like work on them and
Mhm.
shit
the pit.
was right there. You walk through all that. That was pretty cool. Plus, it was free. So I just spent probably like $100 on food. But other than that, it was pretty fucking awesome. And then we got in the stands for like maybe 30 minutes. And I was like, I'm ready to go whenever everybody else is ready to go. And they were like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. So it was perfect. And it wasn't, the weather was nice. It wasn't too,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't too
It's windy.
sunny. It wasn't like, yeah, it was windy. It was nice. So whatever. I took a bunch of video and shit.
I don't want to see that.
No, I know. I put it on my story on Instagram, which tomorrow
Nobody
it'll be
cares.
gone. Yeah, nobody cares. Exactly. Whenever I see like 10 people watching, I'm like, who would watch this? Like, I don't watch this shit ever. If it's not like some bitch, some hot bitch that I'm following, I don't watch anything.
Yeah, I don't know Instagram.
Oh, no?
Or not Instagram. The other thing.
The
Snapchat.
story? Oh, yeah, Snapchat.
Instagram has a story thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show it to you
I
real
don't know
quick.
that.
So here, look. This is today. This is just going to be a bunch of the car racing.
Yeah, it's cars being
Yeah.
loud and going around.
Yeah, and then some girls are walking in front of me, so I show their ass and just basically
Yeah.
10 videos of that.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I spent some time
16
today.
people watch that. 16 people I know
You need to find who those people are.
watch. You can see that.
Oh, really? You
Yeah,
can see who
you
they
can
are?
see it.
Are they strangers or?
No, no, I only friend people I know. So
Oh, okay.
you see, like I have like whatever.
So you can see who in your friends
Yeah.
saw it. Okay. And that's
But
understandable.
not that I give a fuck.
Right.
I only looked at that by accident to see it.
So why do you say he's angry though?
I don't know. Oh, because he's the like, fucking those pastelitos have been there. They're full of roaches since Tuesday. Brr.
But why would you assume that that's because he's angry?
Why would he say an angry statement like that?
Not angry. Really?
You don't know, Wonky.
Maybe he's just
He's not
saying that
happy-go-lucky. He's angry. He's
Well, I know
jealous
that-
of
I
hurt
know
about
that-
something.
he's mad that you're eating pastelitos.
He's mad that we're doing the podcast without him.
It's easy. He can come here.
He's not gonna do that. Everything needs to be on his terms, or else he's angry at you.
I don't care.
I know. Neither do I. But I'm just telling you why he's angry.
Sorry, Wonky.
That's
I
why
know you're
he-
listening.
That's why he's angry. I'm just telling.
And he just turned it off.
you. Oh.
And he's back. Welcome back, Wonky. I know you
You
couldn't
got the
stop listening. Well, no, I just pictured him like listening,
Oh right.
getting
I got
upset,
it.
turning it off, and then wanting to hear what we said again, and so coming back.
I love the fucking podcast.
It's super fun.
I love listening to it.
I listened to it too.
Is there a way that you could listen to it like the YouTube thing where it just runs? Because I have to leave my phone on. do you
Yeah.
do
Well,
that?
what I got to do is I guess I could put it on YouTube.
Is that too much time, or is that a big
Uh,
mission?
No, I think you're right. I've got a website. I'll put it on the
4
website,
hours.
make an RSS feed, and then just fucking put it there. No one's listening to it, so it's not a lot of traffic. So it's just you just download it and use a podcast app, and you put it on, and bada bingo.
Okay, I'm probably gonna have to look that up.
No, you don't have to do anything.
But
You
the
just get a podcasting
Dropbox,
app.
I have to leave the phone on. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's silly. I don't
It's
listen
not-
to it like that.
How do you listen?
I need to edit it, like
Right.
because I put sometimes sound effects and shit like that,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
cut out dead air.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I use a program called Fairite, and I'm just listening to it as I go. And then if there's a spot where I want to cut something out or add a
Oh,
sound
right,
effect,
right, right.
then I'll pause it and then
But I have to listen to it on Dropbox. That's the only
Correct.
Right.
You can, I mean,
Sucks.
you can. I imagine you can also download it to your phone.
It sucks in a first world problem, kind of sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world.
right.
It's not gonna crush me, but occasionally I can't listen to it when I want to
Right.
listen to it.
So I'm like listening to all the channels. If there's
Yeah.
lots of noise on one channel, I'll cut
Right,
it out and shit
right.
like that.
Yeah. So this is like I hate when people do the first world complaints, but this is me doing it.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
I can't believe I took a shit. And my phone was over there and it wasn't charged. I mean, when my kids do that, I want to fucking kill them. I mean, people are starving to death, right? There's a bear just ate somebody right now, right? Alive, and you're fucking bitching about me not
Oh, this
letting
sucks.
you.
I hate you,
Yeah,
Dad.
me not buying you the fucking LeBron shoes for $400. Fuck you. You're never getting those shoes. Fucking hate you.
He asked for $400 shoes.
He asks for a bunch of crazy shit all the time. Like, fucking you crazy guy?
Does he really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Just shoes and fucking. Most of the time, this is what happens. He cries like if you don't get him the shoes, he's gonna die, right? And then he walks around in like regular sneakers. And I go, where are those fucking $150 basketball shoes that you were fucking bitching about?
What does he say?
Oh, I wear those. You never wear them. I wear those when I never see you wearing them ever.
And
And we
he's gonna
play
outgrow them.
basketball. Oh, right. That's exactly what's happening. Like maybe 4 or 5 pairs. So I go, we play basketball every fucking day and you do it in those shoes. So I'm not going to buy you the shoes. And then, like when it's Christmas or his birthday, it's the same shit. And then I always buy it. Whatever. It's fucking stupid. And then you know what? Like I have like $30 fucking like the cheapest Nike Sports Authority, which is out of business now. The cheapest shitty for a decade. High tops, they're
And they last forever.
well, I never play seriously, but though maybe once or twice a month that I put them on, they're not gonna get fucked up. They'll last
Right.
20 years. Like
I've got the same wrestling shoes from high school.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
use
That's
them.
what I'm saying. So, like, to go and spend $150 when I know he's gonna fucking not wear them,
Right.
and then I think he's worn like one pair. He goes to like basketball camp in the summer,
Mhm.
so one pair for basketball camp, but the rest of them they're too big and clunky.
Right.
He doesn't wear them on a daily basis. So yeah,
Sorry, Mr. H.
Yeah. So that's I hate the first world thing. All right, let's see. What else you want to talk about?
I was watching a video today on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
by it was like a lecture or seminar by Masad Ayub
Yeah, he's
talking
good.
about
I heard he's really
Justifiable-
short,
I don't know.
which I didn't know, which is pretty cool. Because
Uh,
I thought he was tall.
No, he's
Almost deep voice.
he,
like this.
he was
It's
talking
deeper
about
than that.
justifiable or judicious use of deadly force,
Yeah,
and
he's good for all that.
yeah,
He's like an expert witness in crimes,
yeah,
in court cases.
Yeah.
Because he's
not in
whatever.
crimes, but in
court
in
cases.
shootings, like
Yeah, in court cases.
if a concealed carry guy shoots somebody and then he gets accused of manslaughter.
Yeah, I
or
read a bunch
whatever.
of his articles and his videos and stuff.
Yeah, I'm reading a book by some Gun Digest thing, and I forgot the name of it, but
I've got that.
it covers
Book?
like all of the
You have that
CCW
book?
stuff.
you
That
have
book,
the law book.
no,
That's a good
but
book.
I bought like a $10 one on the defensive.
Well, there's a Florida.
Yes, I've got that one.
You
I haven't
got
read that
one?
yet. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. No, that's like crazy. I haven't read it, but the one page that I have like a bookmark at is the one of the selling the gun. There's no
Okay.
law
what do you mean?
in Florida. There's no law against like if I wanted to sell you one of my guns, I could just sell it to you or give it to you.
Uh huh.
There's nothing that says nothing.
Like you don't have to ask, "Are you a felon?"
None of that.
Okay.
You're not required to do anything. The only thing that they would like is that you don't give the gun to someone who's obviously under 18.
Uh-huh.
But it's not a law. You're not going to go to jail for doing that.
Huh.
So whenever like I've gone to sell a gun or whatever,
And that's only for private citizens, going from private citizen to
Yeah,
private citizen.
yeah.
Okay.
so
weird.
well, I think that should be the way most things are. There shouldn't
Mhm.
really be a law for anything. Much. If you're not hurting anybody,
Right.
what's the law for, right? So that's actually a good thing that they have that. And maybe like 10, 15 years ago, maybe more by now, my buddy, the guy who arrested Wonky,
Mm-hmm.
we were gonna go somewhere, and he said, "Oh, you're gonna take a gun?" And I was like, "My gun's kind of too big, and I didn't have a holster for it or whatever
Where were you
at
going?
the time." We're going to Everglades,
Okay.
and he's like, "Oh,
Isn't that the place to take your gun?
Huh?
Wouldn't that be the place to take your gun?
that's what I'm saying."
Okay.
Well, I was gonna take a gun anyway.
Right.
Even though at the time I think there was a law you couldn't take a gun into the national forest or
Really?
that one or yeah, I
Weird.
think we looked it up or something like that. We were going for like a week or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I told him, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll give you one of my my 38s." You know, like the cops used to use that,
Mm.
but that was like his backup gun. Like he has a bunch of guns.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay. And then I'm like, do we have to do anything for that? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'll ask the fucking ATF guy that works with him in the somewhere in the cop thing.
Mhm.
I guess the guy's like the expert for shit like that.
Mhm.
And then I was there in the office and by Doral somewhere.
Mhm.
And then the guy's like, oh yeah, just give it to him. And he goes, oh, I don't have to have like a paper. He's like, no, I mean you could get one if you want, but it doesn't. You don't need anything.
Right.
And so the guy knows. And in the book, like 10 years later, when I went to the CCW the first time, like reconfirmed that
Yeah.
exactly that there's no law for that.
The book that I've got is
Florida firearms something.
Well, no, the one that I'm reading on Masad Ayub was
That's gonna be good because I've read a few of his articles and seen his
Yeah.
videos. Everything that he has,
the Gun Digest Book of Concealed Carry.
everything that I've read or seen that he's done is like outstanding. It's like
Mhm.
perfect. Like, he's really good and he knows his shit. And if you look at, like the tactics that we did with like Hansel,
Uh-huh.
his things of that are really good.
Oh, really?
Like for your house, like to answer the door, how you move around, what you do there. It's a pretty good. It's a lot of shit that a regular person wouldn't think. You'd think, oh, I got the gun, I'll do this and I'll do that, but he got a lot of little things that you wouldn't. That's the gun. That's the book I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another one that's a little
But
bit bigger than this
It-
one.
at the time that I got it, it was the most updated version.
Right. This is the 2016.
Oh, so that's more updated.
April
'cause that was-
2016.
yeah.
And with
so-
the ebook version, they'll send you updates whenever they change shit or whenever the law changes. It's pretty cool.
right.
So this is the Florida Firearms Law Use and Ownership.
So I got whatever it was when I got it, which was, I don't know, 2014.
It is by
13.
John Guttmacher. And apparently there's a bigger book, but it's
I
only
read-
available in a hard copy.
Yeah, mine has a soft cover, but it's a fat fucking book.
Right.
It's got to be at least 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
But he was saying, the guy at the thing in the book, that he was a lawyer and
Yeah,
people
he's a
kept
lawyer.
coming up to him and asking him about, because I read the first maybe like 50 pages or 100 or something like that,
Mhm.
and then I got into like law cases and I stopped reading whatever the beginning part is. And he said that people kept asking him, and he didn't really know, but he looked them up, and then he
Mhm.
kept answering so many questions
Right.
that people started to get a thing like he was an expert, which he
Right.
wasn't. And then he started going to court cases as an expert on gun law in Florida. And then he's like, fuck it, I'll just fucking...
I'll be the guy.
I'll just like look up all the cases for different
Right.
scenarios and then put them in a book. And then that's how he did the first book.
Right.
And then he is because none of that shit existed.
Right.
Like nobody had like organized the laws
Right.
or organized the cases.
In this
And so
particular
he
case,
just did it, and now he's the expert.
this was the specific issue in this case.
Yeah.
In whatever
or
versus
precedent
Florida.
or
Right.
whatever. Yeah, if the guy shoots the guy for this or whatever.
Right. That's awesome.
So,
I
so
haven't read it yet. I'm still reading
because
that
we're talking
Ayub book.
about this,
Uh-huh.
give me your take, and then I'll do my take,
Uh-huh.
unless I agree with you, on the Trayvon Martin
Oh.
thing. Go.
Trayvon Martin. This
And
guy,
also
what's
the
name? George-
media's portrayal. Zimmerman.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
About the press making
Yes,
a big deal about stuff.
exactly. Doing
Um,
whatever the fuck they want and lying.
Well, how
Go
can
ahead.
we extend this story and make the most money off of it? If it's just a short thing, we don't make money.
But
If we make it about race, oh my god, this racial thing that
how many people do you think died or were severely injured because of what the press did, which was lie and create a story where there was no story?
What do you mean? As in the press is covering this in a certain way and making a racial issue about this when it really wasn't a
Right.
racial issue.
Exactly.
And then you're saying that people are protesting and getting upset, and then people are
Yes.
rioting and getting shot. and-
Exactly.
okay, yeah, it's super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I say super
So
a lot.
I think in that scenario,
Uh-huh.
because it seems like you agree with me, which is not the popular view, that they should be held liable for, like, if, say, this guy got beat up, he could
Mhm.
sue CNN or the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or the Miami Herald because they put an article that riled up the people, whoever the people are, and they beat up a guy because they're stupid, basically.
Right.
They should be able to be sued for that. People sue for far more ridiculous reasons. For people that are less, like if we slip here, we could sue the owners, the landlord. That's pretty ridiculous, but that's a legit thing that happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
In a hotel,
Right. In an apartment building, whatever.
Some fucking kid, some girl claims to be raped, and the fucking president of the university gets fired. What the fuck? That guy's sleeping in his bed. He's never done anything wrong his whole life. But some girl falsely accused somebody else. So she made shit up.
Right.
And this guy gets fired. That's ridiculous.
Right.
So why wouldn't someone who actually commits
because you would destroy
thing,
journalism.
it's not journalism.
Well,
It's
but you would
make believe fake news.
Right, but you
is
would
what
destroy
is.
that because they wouldn't want to do anything.
But you would
If
destroy
they were-
hotels, or you would destroy the.
Well, no, hotels go out of business. Like businesses go out of business because they get sued by some person who
Right.
takes all their money.
So we'll just sue the newspapers since they're lying and they're causing destruction and upheaval. Right? I remember when they put the picture of Trayvon and he was a little kid, and some moron, obviously she's a moron, was on a video clip getting interviewed, and she goes, "They're killing our children.
They what?
They're killing your children, really? They're
Well,
killing."
he is
first of
somebody's-
all, who's
he is-
they?
The Trayvon Martin was somebody's
No,
child.
no. But
So
what she
to that
meant,
family.
what she meant was that they showed a picture of a 12-year-old kid when he's super cute, not the 17-year-old gangster, tough guy,
who
did martial arts training
and had guns
and had punched this guy, and the guy was on the floor.
Did he
and
have
punched
martial arts
him
training?
3 times. Yeah, they said he did martial. I don't know if he did or not, but they said I saw it somewhere that he did MMA training. So what he
didn't
did
know
was he hid in the bushes. He sucker punched this guy. Zimmerman was 100% justified in killing this fucking
You were
attacker.
asking me, but now you're
Yeah,
talking.
okay, go ahead.
So
Sorry. I got off on a tangent.
It's all right. So George Zimmerman is like the neighborhood watch guy that he likes to peek through the windows and see what the neighbors are doing.
You're throwing that. Is that something that he did?
I don't know, but he seems
Okay.
like that type of guy.
No.
So-
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're doing the news thing now. He seems like that type of guy. You don't know that guy. Maybe he's the best watchman ever.
Right. well,
Maybe
well,
he lives there.
correct. No. But
Yeah, and he's
well, listen,
just-
shut up. Just
crime
shut
went
your
up.
fat face.
I'm correcting your fat face.
So he's a citizen, right?
Got it.
Who cares enough about his neighborhood to peek out the windows and to see what's happening in his neighborhood. And that he goes beyond that.
No.
Listen, he goes beyond that to be part of the neighborhood watch.
Okay.
So he's like, I'm gonna walk around my neighborhood and make sure that everything's okay. Which is perfectly normal. Like,
Got
hey, the police aren't gonna be here all the time.
Got it.
So we need to take care of our own neighborhood. I think that's awesome.
Okay.
I think that's awesome. You know your neighbors.
Right.
And you care about them. So hey, since the police can't be here all the time, I'm gonna take a watch and I'll look around
Got it.
and I'll make sure that nobody's breaking into cars,
Got it.
which would be a great thing for my neighborhood because cars get broken into, houses get broken into,
All
and
right.
if people were around, then that
Right.
wouldn't happen.
Okay. Fast forward.
So fast forward to that
Right.
night.
Okay.
I wasn't there, but
Right.
supposedly what happened was he was in his neighborhood.
Where'd you read this?
This is just from paying attention to the
In
news. I
general.
didn't read
Okay.
anything.
Go ahead.
I,
All right. Go ahead.
I'm not an expert on any
All
of
right.
this.
Got it.
But from my understanding, he's in his neighborhood or wherever he was patrolling,
This
quote
is
unquote,
Zimmerman.
and he sees some kid in a hoodie, and he was, I guess, not where George Zimmerman expected him, and he calls the police and says, "Hey, there's a guy. Scary. Hey, there's this guy. He's in a hoodie. He looks like a nefarious character. Send a police car, blah, blah, blah. Should I follow him?" And then he gets told by the police people saying, "Yo, we got this. You don't have to follow him. Don't follow him." But he continued and he followed the guy. And then at some point, George Zimmerman was confronted by Trayvon Martin, and they got into a fight. And George Zimmerman is getting his head bounced off the concrete because he's an older dude who doesn't work out and he's out of shape. And then he maybe sensed himself in danger, and he has a gun and he shoots the kid. And then the kid dies, and they call or the police come, and now he's in jail for killing a guy, and apparently at the moment perhaps it's justified because I was attacked and I shot this guy, but then they find out, oh wait, this is a kid, he was unarmed, and then the news gets a hold of it, and now it's a big thing that this is a young kid who was shot by this white dude, and he's a racist. But didn't George Zimmerman mentor like black kids?
I don't know if it has anything to do with anything, but go ahead.
But on the news, they made a big deal about George Zimmerman being a racist and this and that. But I had read that he was mentoring some black kids, and everybody was ignoring that.
Right.
Like, if he was racist, he wouldn't be doing that. He wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I don't mentor anybody. I'm not racist. Get out of here, dude. That's so ridiculous. Guy, it's so ridiculous. A realist and a racist are two different
I've heard you
things.
say a few things.
That doesn't make you a racist. You know what a
Okay.
racist is to begin with?
Go ahead, tell me. School me.
It's that you think any race is better or worse than another race at something.
Okay.
That is, look it
You
up in
just
the dictionary.
defined it. Okay. You just
Look it up in the
okay,
dictionary.
well
That's
then,
exactly the definition.
Then you're racist.
Which is not.
Then you're racist.
No, that's not
Then
true.
you're according to that definition, you are racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think that Asians are better at this or that than other people? That's what it is. That's where it comes from. The word has been hijacked to mean prejudice. They mean prejudice.
Okay.
They don't, or bigoted. They don't mean racist, because racist means like, I think all black people are, black people are better at playing basketball than anybody else, which is a racist statement because
Okay.
you think a race can do something better or worse than another race.
Okay.
And that's false. And all that comes from.
Okay.
Go ahead. What are you doing? You're doing the mimicking thing, and you were. Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead,
thinking of
dispute
a
it.
funny way to say this. Who makes better civilizations? Black people or white people?
Well, that's actually a proven fact that it's not black people.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Actually, that was actually a little bit joking, but everybody has made great civilizations.
Wow, Andy. I think we've made some progress.
No, we haven't. Don't do that. Like if I'm the racist. Anyway.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
I'm a little racist too. Like sometimes if I see a black guy that I don't know,
That's
I
not
get
racist.
nervous.
That's prejudice.
then I'm prejudiced too.
Okay, everybody's
But
prejudiced.
I think I'm a nice guy.
Everybody
Correct.
is
agree.
prejudiced to their experiences.
Correct. I agree 100%.
Everybody.
Everybody.
So Obama one time said that he was mad because his grandmother, who was white, and they were communists, by the way, and they raised a black kid. They were super sweet to him and worked extra jobs to put him through private school. He was angry that one time she saw like 4 black kids or 6 black kids,
Uh-huh.
and then they crossed the street to not be, not
Obama
Yeah.
and his family crossed
his
the street.
grandmother, and he was upset about that.
Really?
Yeah, that she
That's
was
just
a
being
racist.
safe.
Thank you.
No, that's being safe. Like
Thank you.
these
If
young people
it's
that I don't know.
6 teenage Asians, you're gonna try not to get next to them
No,
as
it's
best you can, if you can.
young people are kind of dangerous.
Young boys are dangerous
Yeah.
from any race.
Yeah.
And the stats prove that blacks are even more dangerous. So that's not any kind of
No,
like
but that's
race
just
thing
being
or whatever.
safe. That's if
Okay,
you're not.
so
if
let's
you're
get
not-
back to the race. Before we go off on a race thing,
Yeah.
let's go back to the Trayvon thing. Can I talk now?
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
you didn't let me before.
You've been
All
talking ever since.
Wow. So you're pretty close, but I think that you have a more fair and
I think I'm a fair person.
balanced understanding of what happened, and you probably didn't get your news from one source
I do that.
for the Trayvon thing, because most people would give you the CNN version. And
What's the
whenever-
CNN version?
That Zimmerman's a racist and he killed that kid. The kid was he just ran up to him and killed him. And they told him not to go. Whatever the most ridiculous version.
Which, yeah, I mean,
of
people are
that
going to say
is-
that he shouldn't have gone following
Well,
the
whatever
kid
the most-
if he's
the
told
more-
by the police not to do it. Yes,
You heard
I
your
agree
story?
that 100%.
You know your story.
Yeah.
You take the most slanted version against Zimmerman. That's the CNN version.
Okay.
And they were caught in that, lightening him up, covering the fact that he's like half Hispanic,
Uh-huh.
right? Never saying he's half Hispanic and only focusing on him being a white man, angry white man, and all this other bullshit. That's creating the news. You're pushing what you want, your own agenda. And then they had rioters go over there. They had a little fucking town where not too many people have an overwhelming amount of people come in buses They bust people from Miami over there, and a bunch of other crazy shit happened.
Why would they bust people from Miami?
I actually read why. Are you insane?
Why would they bust
This is
people
like
from
the
Miami?
Black Lives Matter people. There's an organization.
So you're saying that CNN?
not CNN, some group
Okay,
like
they don't have black people in Orlando.
oh, huh?
They don't have black people in Orlando.
No, wherever that little town is.
It's Orlando.
I don't think it's Orlando.
Yeah, it's
not
Orlando.
all the
I
way
think
up
it's
there.
Sanford.
It's
Isn't it Sanford,
it's-
Orlando?
Yeah, it's
Or
before
Sanford,
that.
Florida.
It's a little bit south of that. But anyway, it's a smaller town, and they shipped people over there from here. It was a group from here, and it was pushed by people like Obama made comments, ridiculous comments, and Obama's a fucking lawyer. So he should know you can't do anything without the facts. You can't, especially you're the fucking president. If you're just some dude, hey, you say whatever you think.
Right.
But if you're the fucking president, you don't go and say like ridiculous shit, which I don't remember exactly what he said, but it made it worse, which is the same as with this Black Lives Matter shit. Pretty much every statement he says is horrible and makes the situation worse. He's like fueling the fire on purpose because those groups are usually funded by Soros and those lefty communist people
Mm-hmm.
that they want there to be this us versus them and then kind of fight this, push this victim bullshit onto not just black people, but black people and other minority groups like Mexicans and immigrants and Muslims and stuff like that, so that they can try to push their political agendas using that. Like this thing with Trump with the Mexicans. They tried to make that the one that breaks them. And that didn't really work, so then they tried to make the female thing be the one that breaks them. And then they tried races, even though they showed a bunch of pictures on the internet for years and years and years, him supporting black shit in New York because he's from New York and all this other
Right.
bullshit. They never called him racist till he was running against the Democrat. Anyway, so I read the article from Masab Ayub, whatever the fuck his name is,
Oh, on the Zimmerman.
on
thing.
the Zimmerman. Did you
Awesome.
read that?
No, I haven't. I'm
It's
gonna
a
look that up.
fucking great article. And you know what? He was the expert on that trial.
No shit.
So he has all the facts. That's why I read his article. Not because of who he is, because he's great. But if he's just talking, I don't want to listen because he doesn't have all the facts. So when CNN does a report, I don't listen to it because I know they're lying and they have their own agenda. And it's a lie, and I don't want to feed into their lie. You know what I mean? So I don't listen to
if you
any
ever-
of the news.
If you ever have the bad luck to have some sort of shooting where it comes into question.
Any shooting
like-
is bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wanna call in Mossad. you
Yeah,
to
you
be a
do if
witness.
you're on the right side.
Correct.
Because he's going to be fair. And if you're wrong,
Yeah.
he's going to try to crush you.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you should be, everybody.
Right.
You should be on the side of principles.
is that-
and I hope that's next door. They're trying to cut through that door. They're going to die in a hail of gunfire. And the back door's open, guys. So you can just walk around and not have to cut the door open. Sounds like it's next door. But anyway, so what he said when you were pretty close, because I've had actual screaming arguments with people because they're going by CNN and I'm going by
okay.
Mossad Ayub, who was the actual expert, looked at the evidence and told you every second of what happened. So he goes and he's following Trayvon. There was crime, so him and I think like one or two other people were I don't remember exactly, it was a while ago.
Which is a fucking nice thing to do. He doesn't
It's
have to do
fine.
that.
This is how police work started. The Crime Watch thing. It's how policing started.
Correct. It's
Right.
because, hey, I don't want to do this every day,
No,
so why don't we just hire this guy
People
to
are
do it all
doing
the time?
things. No. So that Watchman thing, and then hey, let's pay this guy because he's spending all his time.
Right.
And then that's how policing started here and in Europe. The same. So he's doing that. They try to demonize that. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
There's nothing wrong with him.
being a watchman in your neighborhood.
Yeah, there's nothing
I think
wrong with
there's
that.
nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. Best case scenario for the Zimmerman side was that he was like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" or whatever, which is fine to ask. But if he did it like a dick, the guy could say something. But this is where the problem lies. You don't go by feelings, which is what the left does and what women do. You go by facts, and this is what any human with a brain, a rational human, which is people on the right and men usually,
And men, right.
and also Mossad Ayub and court and law.
And anybody who agrees with you, of course. Go ahead.
I'm always right. So if you agree with me, you're right. And if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. So it's simple. I don't know how people don't get it. So he said, Masada, you said this. All of that, the phone call, 911, none of that shit matters. What matters is the point. This guy followed Trayvon. Trayvon went to the convenience store. When
Okay.
he stayed there. When Trayvon comes back, he's there. He sees him.
So Zimmerman spots
Trayvon follows him, calls the cops, follows him. He goes to the convenience store. When he goes to
Okay.
the convenience store, he loses sight of him.
Mhm.
He stays there at the place.
Trayvon stays, or no, sorry, Zimmerman stays in his
When
spot.
Trayvon comes back, he sees that the guy's still standing there,
Mhm.
and he says, "Hey, what are you following me for?" And he goes, "I'm not following you. I'm just standing here." And then he's like that, and he walks
He
away.
made a face.
He goes down, but like a mad dog, like
Right.
scumbag, idiot. Instead of, you could be mad, whatever. So he goes.
In his defense, though, we don't know what it's like to be followed by.
Yeah, that's a
People
horrible
thinking
thing,
that-
but we're getting into feelings, right? If
Right.
I'm staring at you and I follow you to the car and I look at you, that doesn't give you the right to start punching me in the face.
Correct. I'd be like, okay, this guy's an asshole.
Right. So Trayvon walks away. This guy follows him.
Okay.
When he follows him, Trayvon walks like around this fucking loop, right?
I'm gonna get
This-
a jump on him. He
this
gets
guy-
flanked.
This guy follows him. He turns the corner. He doesn't see him.
Nobody can see what you're doing.
The
Just
father's
keep the
house is
microphone
in
by
the
your
other
mouth.
direction. So
Okay.
he went over here for a different reason.
hmm
When
So Trayvon wasn't walking
when
directly home.
Zimmerman
He did a loop.
goes
Okay.
over here, turns the corner, sucker punch.
Okay.
Sucker punch hits the floor, starts raining down punches on the guy's face. The guy's on concrete, bouncing his head off the thing and telling him, "I'm gonna kill you," and whatever. He fucking gets the gun, shoots him once, the kid dies.
He fired
The
one shot.
cops come, yeah. The
Wow.
cops come, tells him the story. They tell him he's not. That's justified.
Mhm.
Everything is fine. Everything checks out. There's no fucking wrong. That guy's beating you to. On one of my trips with this guy, saw a guy die. Guess from what? One punch between friends. That got two drunks.
So you were riding in a car with your police officer,
Friend.
cop friend, and
He
you
gets
saw
a call.
some
We
guy.
go over there, and it's two. It's a black guy sitting there, and then a black guy on the street on the floor like that. And then when we get there, he says, he goes, "Here's what happened." And he goes, "Oh man, we were just fucking around. I punched him. I think he's dead." And then he goes, "Oof!" He goes over there. He looks at the guy, and he goes like that. And he like tells me to come with him, and we go back to the car. We're just like right there, like 5 or 10 yards away. And when we're walking back to the car, he goes, "That guy's going away for murder." He just admitted to murder.
Wow.
And I go, it seems like that's his friend. He goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter at all." They were drunk, two not homeless, but they're like drunk guys from the neighborhood.
Right.
Got into it, whatever. The guy punched him. He didn't die from the punch.
He died
His
from
head
hitting the
slapped
ground.
the floor.
So
Dead.
dangerous.
One punch. That happens all the time. People die even just from falling. They hit their
Right.
head or they break their neck or whatever. So when you punch a guy 4 times, where the guy's got a cut, he's all bloody, his mouth is bloody, his nose is bloody. If that's not justified homicide, there is no justified homicide.
Right.
So to
So-
argue against that is insanity because there is no argument against
the
it.
guy-
If you're
but-
beating me to
But he
death,
didn't have a gun. The guy didn't have a gun.
that doesn't matter because I
Right.
can kill you with my bare hands,
Right.
and so can
You
Trayvon Martin.
You could try. You wouldn't do it. We're fairly even.
I gotta go to the bathroom. So are you gonna
Again?
keep talking?
What is wrong
I
with
drank
you?
this bucket of soda and I ate before I came over, and I got a hamster bladder.
Are
and
you-
hamster bowels? Obviously.
Are your feet cold?
My feet are not cold. I do not have diabetes yet. But I always, whenever I get anything or my kid, like today we got food at the car race thing,
Uh-huh.
and then I go, "What do you want to drink? Water?" Because I always tell my kid that, and he's like, "I want Coke," and I'm like, what you're saying is you want diabetes?" He's like, "Fuck you! I like Coke. Give me Coke." And I'm like, "Why don't you drink a water, bro?"
You gave him water?
And then he goes, "No, I want Coke." And I go, "Okay, give him 1 can of diabetes, please." At least he's got it in his head. You know, he's still drinking it and getting diabetes.
But you're drinking it.
No, I didn't drink Coke. That's Diet Coke.
Oh,
That's probably worse.
perfect.
All right, hold on.
Should've
So
said
dead air,
that.
dead air. So Trayvon, we'll leave off and we'll come back, and it's Trayvon
All right.
Masood Ayub. You should read that article, though. It's a great article. And then
gonna
I can
save
tell you
it.
about my arguments with hilarious people who only have CNN as a reference. That's why I don't watch the news, because CNN's a joke.
It's interesting how you bring your pistol with you to the restroom. It makes sense to bring it because if you need it and you don't have it, it's gonna suck.
Take it out of my car, down.
Uh-huh.
I put it under my leg,
Uh-huh.
which is the best place for it. And if it's kind of uncomfortable whenever I'm sitting, I'll always do that, or put it right next to me or something,
Mhm.
so that it's not uncomfortable.
You
But
don't, you don't have it in your pocket or in a holster.
yeah, I'll put it right next to me, so it's right there. But then, you know, sometimes I forget. Like that first time I went to the bathroom, I forgot it here, and I was like, "Fuck."
Oh.
I hate when I forget
Right.
to have it on me, because I have it on me till I go to sleep. Pretty much, it's very rare that I don't have it on me.
Like you carry it home as well.
All the time, everywhere that I go, it's either on me or real close.
I've actually been doing that too, just to get used. I don't have my permit yet,
Right?
but just to get used to carrying all the time because
Yeah.
I don't see a point in carrying some of the time.
Right.
It would make more sense to carry all the time.
Right,
That way you're
right,
always ready
right.
for stuff.
Things happen, but yeah, you want to try to carry all the time.
Yeah. So I carry it home. Like I wake up,
Yeah.
take a shower, get dressed,
So
put it on.
yeah, I have sometimes arguments about this because the lefties really are against gun control, only because they're programmed by
They're against guns.
they're against guns and gun. Oh yeah, right. So they flip out if you mention about guns, and they always ask you and whatever.
They always
So
ask you what.
everything, like why do you have guns, and
No, but
could
that-
you use shoot
that's-
somebody?
But that's a
and
good
all this.
conversation to
But
have.
they're only having it because the media brings it up.
But it's still a good
because-
conversation to have.
Yeah,
this
that's true.
goes back to how you were
That's
talking
true.
about. Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. How could you do this?
Who?
I can understand why you would
Who?
be like that with women.
Who?
Anybody.
What
But you're
guy?
saying I can't
Well,
talk
I
to
don't
this
know
guy.
what you're talking about.
Okay, we were talking about how somebody was behaving with his wife or with his girlfriend. And you're
Yeah.
like, I can't believe you would do that.
Right.
But you were that guy.
Yeah, I was that guy.
So it's a good conversation to have
Yeah.
as a guy who's been on both sides.
I was that guy who knew something was wrong. I wasn't that guy like, this is awesome. I'm like, something's wrong.
This doesn't feel good.
Yeah, they lied to us. I've been suckered.
This isn't working.
This isn't working.
I bought her flowers.
I'm not happy.
I bought
Yeah.
her chocolates.
I've been that
I did
guy.
the dishes.
I've been that
I
guy.
did the
I've
laundry.
been a dick too, and it's been good. And I've been, you got it right.
But it's good to. I think it's a good thing to have those conversations
Yeah.
because I mean, as long as the other person is listening to, as long as it's a conversation
That's true.
and it's not a
But I take it a step
people
further.
yelling at each other.
That's true. Right.
I don't like the people yelling
Right,
at each
right,
other. I
right,
like
right.
conversations.
Right.
I don't mind Facebook discussions where people
Right.
disagree.
Yeah.
As long as they're talking and they're discussing. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I take it to another level that if I don't give a fuck about you, I'm not talking to you about anything, especially something contentious. You know what I mean? Even more important. Like, if I don't give a fuck about you, I don't know you on Facebook. So
Right. But I mean, I imagine if you got into an actual conversation with somebody who disagreed with you on the street,
yeah,
you would talk to them.
not really, unless it's a
Really?
hot chick. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
not talking to people. I'm
Whatever.
not talking to dicks, penises that I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about anything. Even like, hello, I'm not friendly. I just go and do my shit. I'm not talking to guys because I don't have any interest in anything that guy has to tell me.
Okay.
Or anything else. We were in Fantasy Fest once, me and some friends, and I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking, but they're drinking.
You're in Fantasy Fest.
So
I need
we're
to
there,
hear this.
and it's packed, and you been there?
No.
It's awesome.
I've just heard
So
stories.
yeah, so I got a bunch of stories. By the way, that could be a whole other podcast. Or
Write
today,
that
since
down.
or today. Yeah.
Write that down.
So my buddies are like, "Oh, we gotta go piss. We gotta find a bar. We gotta go somewhere that they both had to pee, and I didn't for once. I didn't have to pee. So I'm standing outside. They go in this part's packed, so they take forever
Uh-huh.
to get it in and out.
Uh-huh.
So I'm standing outside, and some dude ran, and there's pickpockets, and there's a bunch of gay people down there. So I'm not there to talk to guys. I'm trying to get laid, take pictures of titties,
Mhm.
whatever. So some guy comes up, random, because in this little intersection, it wasn't that packed.
Uh-huh.
The street.
Right.
So I'm standing like right in front of the bar by myself, and a guy comes right next to me. Isn't this great? Friendly, nice, and I look at him, and he's looking at me with a big dumb smile on his face. And he could have been just a happy guy. Those people
Right.
exist.
I could have said that. That would have
Yeah.
been me.
Just randomly go up to a random guy at something that there's a lot of gays and gay people there.
This is awesome.
Isn't this great? And I look at him and I go, guy, get away from me. Oh, what the fuck is your problem? And he instantly goes to like super violent.
Oh,
And I go, I said, get the fuck away from me. And I'm already ready to fight. So I turn and I'm in like almost boxing stance with my hands down. He goes, oh, you're a fucking asshole. And he walks out and my friends come out and they're like, dude, relax. Have a drink. And I'm like, I'm driving. I'm not drinking. You guys are the ones fucking drinking, whatever. So the whole night, I'm just going to get through the whole story then for Fantasy Fest. A bunch of shit happened, but the whole night my friends are like super over the top, being rude, drunk, assholes.
And you're there.
I'm there with
Trying
the
to
camera.
survive.
I'm the guy who always had the camera before cameras were
that
on
was you.
phones. I was always with the little look, the wind up,
Awesome.
click.
That was me too.
Click, and then I would develop it and make extra copies for my friends and
Awesome.
funny shit. And I forgot the fucking pictures. I have the pictures from the last podcast. Remember I told you
which
the guy hanging on the fucking thing at 100 miles an hour. And the guy with the gun. I have those. I just gotta look for them. I gotta look for them.
All right,
Those are like in a closet in
I'm
a
writing
box
notes.
somewhere. Thank you.
Candies.
Because I'll forget again. I thought about it once and I was like in bed and I was like, I'll get it later. Which is basically my whole life in a microcosm right there. I'll finish that college degree later. So anyway, so they're constantly like, the girls are usually with a guy. Usually. And people are like, hey, show us your tits. And they'll show you their fucking tits. You don't have to say anything. But these guys are like, hey, yeah, those are fucking horrible. You should work out. You're too old for this. They're being dicks.
It sounds like you.
No, come on. I'm not to a person's face. I'm not that.
Not to their face. Okay.
I'll make fun of. I'm not face of some random woman who shows you her tits. That's nice. I like tits. So anyway, I'm taking pictures of all the tits. These guys are kind of being rude here and there. And, oh, your bitch is hot. Saying stupid. You don't need to say that.
Right.
This is kind of humiliating.
People are gonna feel bad
on some level. They're doing we're drunk, we don't care.
Right.
But if you're a bunch of, there's thousands of guys alone are saying rude shit to your chick, guy, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You could be supportive, whatever.
You could be nice.
But they're drunk, so they lost the little thing that I have, which is don't do that.
Right.
So then they're like, oh, that guy got mad. They're being dicks, right? So I'm like, dude, stop
at
being
that point.
dicks.
It's also like 4 guys versus 1 guy, so the guy's gonna say
Or more.
I
There's
wanna
groups.
go."
Usually what would happen was you would just see a cluster of people, a group, encircle one girl or a couple of girls. And then I would just like run to the middle and try to get my camera and take a picture, and it was always a chick in there. You wouldn't have to guess because that's what it would happen. It's a bunch of people, and when you would see a little circle, you just run over there and take a picture. So in one of those things, I caught a guy trying to pickpocket my friend because I was late to get over there. These guys are tall, and then everybody's like doing this to see the tits.
These guys are tall.
There's one
Everybody's
guy
tall
right
to you,
behind
guy.
my friend. That hurts. He's right behind my friend like this, but right on top of him. And he's like that, straight. And then he's got 3 guys behind him, like a little wall, and they're straight.
So he can hand it over to them.
So they can like block anybody else. So that the
so
guy
they can't see.
And then what
then hand it
happens is
back.
he moves behind them and they close on the guy.
Right.
So when I see that, I just feel that there's, and they had like warned you, like there's going to be pickpockets. So when I see that, I know it's what's happening. And I just I play football. I don't know much else. I take 2 steps and I fucking knock the 3 guys out of the way. And they're big guys, Boom, they go out of the way, and I grab the guy by the back of the shirt, and I go, this guy's fucking trying to steal your wallet. And my friend turns around, he's like, what? And he grabs the guy by the neck. I have the shirt, gets the guy's neck, and he fucking slammed the guy on the floor, right? And then the 3 guys come, and they like push me down, like back. I fall back. And then my friend, I don't know what happens. By the time I get up, I'm like ready to kill these guys. They all like turned, and it felt like the whole crowd was with them because it was like a fucking big mess, and it became a whole fucking big
The whole
mess.
crowd
It
was
like,
with
like,
those guys.
but
with
it
the
wasn't.
pickpocket
It
guys.
wasn't. It just felt like that because
Right.
it just became like this.
Right, it's a bunch of people you don't know.
It's too many people. They
Right.
did it real close to a big group.
Right.
And but it could have been, but it would have been. It's too coordinated.
Right. There's a lot of people.
3 or 4 people and whatever. There was a cop like, dude, before the wall.
Okay, so
So when
20
I
feet
get
away.
up, my friend's still there, and he's wrestling around with the guy, and I see the cop, and I take like 2 steps. That's how close the guy is. I go, hey, there, we got a pickpocket, and the guy comes running, like the guy's
The
awesome.
cop.
Instantly, he's on board. We come over here, my friend's alone, and then I'm like, where's the guy? He's like, they all pushed me, and they fucking got away.
Right.
So he's like, but he still had his wallet, but he had like Dockers, and they had like a button. and they had undone the button. He goes, "Boy, you were right. They undid the button." And
Oh,
they
he knew that he had his button done.
Yeah, and I go, "Guy, you have your wallet. You gotta be an idiot to go to a place like that with a wallet." I had like just
Yeah.
money in the front and
Yeah,
my
your
license,
money and your license,
yeah,
and
a
you
credit
wrap
card,
it in
and that's
a
it, right?
yeah.
So even back then, right, I did that. But so that was our little experience. Those are probably like guys that practice it, or who
Right.
knows, gypsies or whatever. So
Gypsies.
whatever. So
So back to Trayvon Martin.
well, let me finish the
All right, go ahead.
story. So there's a little bit of a fight story, which is awesome, and me almost getting laid story, which is nice too. So my one friend's huge, right? This guy's like 6'5". So we go, and then we're like, fuck it, we're gonna, this over. It's like 3 a.m. So we go, like, they're like, one more drink. So they go to this last bar. And when I go to this last bar, I have a stupid tribal tattoo on my arm, which at the time was one of like 2 or 3 tattoos.
Yeah. It's only one stupid tattoo.
No, there's a lot of stupid ones, but at the time
Okay.
I had
This is early
less
Andy.
stupid tattoos. So anyway, so when I go in there, a girl is like, "Oh, I like your tattoo. I have the same one." And I go, no way. And that was a thing off the wall, so a lot of people had it. Guys had it, girls had it.
Off the
so
wall, meaning
It was
you
like
see the flash, art,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, I'll take that one.
I'll take that one. I'm creative.
Yeah.
So I picked a different one. So I'm talking to this girl, and she is like down. She lives there, and she has like piercings, I think. I don't remember. She was like crazy, maybe tattoos.
Mhm.
And so we're all into it. And then I'm like, and she's like, I'm gonna go. And I go, I'm gonna walk you for safety. She's like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking in there like that.
Mhm.
Not really in there. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. So when we're leaving, I go to give the keys to one of these guys,
Uh-huh.
and he's talking to a like ghetto girl,
Uh-huh.
like a gang type of girl, which
Okay.
was later found out to be in a gang.
Mhm.
And what he did was, what they did, they had a plan because they had gone the year before. They went and they bought like big beads. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
what you did was you had the beads around your neck, and then when the chick showed their tits, you would throw the beads at them,
Right.
or you'd hand them to them if they're right next to you.
Right.
So what people do is they buy the cheap little thin beads that don't cost anything. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
And what these guys did was, the girl, like the hot chicks, if they're wearing clothes, they won't take off their clothes for the shitty beads because the beads cost nothing.
Right.
But the big ones, those are like something. So this guy had some that had crowns,
Right.
maybe a little head. I don't remember. So probably they were like in a Latin Kings or something like that, and like,
Uh-huh.
she thought that was cool or whatever. So she wanted the beads, and he's like, "Show me your tits," and they got into a thing there. So in the middle of the thing,
Your friend and the gang chick.
yeah,
Okay.
and there's like 3 or 4 other like girls and guys.
Right.
So I'm across the street walking this girl when I remember that I drove and I have the keys, and we're on like the other side of the island, some shitty hotel. So I'm going to give them the keys, and then I'd say, if it doesn't work out with this chick, I'll just walk because it's not that far, even though it's the other side of the
Right.
island. So I'm taking 2 steps over, so I see the whole thing unfold, and I'm like, no, please, no, because they're being rude as fuck to everybody. So
Right.
he told her something, whatever. She flicks a cigarette at him, and I'm like 4 steps away, and his time slowed down, and I'm
Right.
like, couldn't this have happened 10 seconds ago? After I did this, look,
Right.
here's the keys, and I turned my back. That's all I
Right.
want, is to bang this chick. So as I'm walking up, I see the chick flick the cigarette at him, and he goes like this. He's super drunk. It goes right by his head, and time's like slow down, and I'm like, no, please, no, this is not happening. He gets his beer,
No.
boom, in the face. He throws it right at her
Whoa.
face, point blank, closer than we were sitting.
Wow.
Boom.
Explodes
Like
on her
this.
face.
A little midget shorter
That's
than me
super dangerous too.
comes
man.
running. It fucked her all up. Comes running like that to punch my
midget as
friend
an actual
right in
midget?
front of my face. No, a guy like 5'2"
Okay,
or something
like your
that.
size.
Anybody shorter than me is a midget,
Okay.
and anybody taller than me is a tall guy.
All right.
Unless you're like above 6'5", then you're a giant.
All right.
So, well, I think maybe 6'3". Anyway, so the guy goes like, he takes like 2 steps like this to hit my friend,
Mm-hmm.
who's kind of like, people are girls and that were right there were grabbing him already. So he goes to like sucker punch him from the back. So I come running, yawns at the beginning of the end. So we got
half an hour.
yeah, maybe 15 minutes. So as he's doing this, I fucking grab him by the waist, suplex him unconscious in the concrete.
Oh God, you
and
can
what
kill a guy
I had
doing
just started doing jiu-jitsu maybe like 6 months,
that. Uh-huh.
right? But I had done judo,
Right.
and I wrestled. Boom, exploded this guy on the floor. I spun around, and I'm knee in the stomach, and I go like this, but the guy's like this. Ow,
Wow.
right? And I feel like someone like the tap in the back of my head. And I turned around and said, 2 guys punching me in the back of the head.
2 guys.
But it didn't feel like anything,
right.
right?
Well, also
So I
adrenaline.
turn around and I'm fucking like this. And when I see me like square up, like I know how to fight, even though, I boxed like a year. I don't really know how to
Right.
fight, but I'm Superman there.
Right.
Because these guys are my height.
Isn't that
Whenever
awesome?
people are
Isn't
my
that awesome
size,
how that
I'm
works?
Superman.
Like just a little
Yeah.
bit of training, and you're like, I can fucking kill everybody.
Yeah. Which is what happened.
Right.
So when I square up, I'm already ready to throw punches, but as soon as I
Uh-huh.
square up, they like scoot back a bunch.
Uh-huh.
Right, the 2 guys. And then I go, these guys are fucking pussies. So then my other friend is getting like, surrounded by like 10 people. He's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And he's wearing sandals. Like the old guy sandals with the back ankle wrap
Okay.
Velcro thing.
The Tivas.
And he's kicking, right? He's so big and they're so little and they're all trying to like get at him. And he's just like slapping them and kicking like that.
Like with kids.
Yeah.
if you were attacked by kids.
Like Gulliver's Travels. Like
Right.
10 little fucking midgets are attacking this giant. So he's like, hey, do something.
Do something.
So a bigger guy who was the tallest, the biggest of their group was again tried to run up behind him to sucker punch him, and
The
basically,
biggest guy in the other people's group.
yeah, which he
Got it.
wasn't that big. He was maybe just a little bigger than you,
Mhm.
and he got around behind my friend, and when I saw that, I take like 2 steps. And you've been to Key West?
Yeah.
I don't know how it is now because the last time I went, it was more like they had fancy shit. But this was this is maybe the 80s. This is a
Mhm.
long fucking time ago. No, it must have been the 90s. But
Yeah,
anyway,
probably 90s.
yeah, 90s. So it was like a brick curb, and
Mhm.
it went to the store, and then it was like brick around the window of the store.
Right. That's normal.
So, but it was like old timey.
Right.
It's not like Miami. It was like a cement fucking curb that's pretty big.
Correct.
It's like half that size and brick.
Right. It's probably
So
Wall Street.
he goes like this again,
right. He
right? Or
cocks
he
his
hit,
arm
he hit
back.
him, and I got him like under the arm, and I took like 2 steps like that. But I was gonna like throw him into the wall like that,
Okay.
but he caught the fucking curb with his foot or
and he
shoe,
tripped
whatever.
on the curb.
Dude, he launched with my going to like I was gonna stop and was gonna fuck him up,
Uh-huh.
but as soon as he hit that thing, he went like a fucking missile
Into the wall.
into the wall with
Oh.
this.
Oh, with his shoulders,
With
the back
me,
of
like,
his head and shoulders.
like carrying him like that, like
Uh-huh.
running with him. It was bad, and it was like boom, and I was like, that's bad. So I did the same thing. I get up, knee in the belly, but he's like this against the wall, like that.
Uh-huh.
Like against
So he's
the
got
floor.
like his head against the wall, and he's lying down on the
and
ground.
I get up and I go to punch him, and again I feel the little fucking like that.
on the back of your head.
But there's like 5 guys now, right?
Oh wow.
And then I'm like, hey, I need fucking help, and my friend's still there. But now there's only like 2 or 3 people in front of him, and he's
And
huge.
Are these people that were hitting
This
you on the
is
back
like
of
a
the head
gang.
new people?
No, this is like a little gang that we just happen to be in the middle of.
Oh wow.
We didn't know.
So they all knew each other. And your drunk friends
So
got rude with the wrong group.
right, exactly.
Wow.
2 seconds before it would have been great if I
Fucking
wouldn't have
pain.
been in
Right.
any of this. But so many funny things. So the big guy, he had been unemployed for like 2 years,
Mhm.
and he finally had a job lined up. Monday, this is like Friday night or Saturday night, the first day we get there, whatever the day of that thing is. So Monday he had an interview, and it was like a lock for the job. Right, watch this. So as soon as I'm getting like I turn around and I'm like, whoa, I'm fucking like, there's a bunch of guys. So I got this fucking guy who's comatose,
Uh-huh.
and he had like a heavy polo shirt. So I
Uh-huh.
grab him and I pick him up on top of myself, and I'm just
Wow.
getting kicked and fucking hit and from all over the.
You're
I'm
just
doing
blocking
this.
with the guy.
I'm doing this.
You're
like,
blocking. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're blocking.
You know, like
No, keep the microphone in your mouth.
you know, like you get the sleeves and you from the back. Like if you have somebody's back and you go to like choke them
Right.
under the arms. I'm
Right.
doing that with this guy,
Wow.
right? And
Okay.
then he's out from the fucking
guy's still
wall
out,
slam.
right.
So he's like, "Oh, you're hitting me! You're hitting me!" They woke him up by hitting him, right?
Awesome.
But they're fucking kicking, and then I'm like blocking the kicks
Like a
with his
shield.
head, but I'm still getting hit,
Right.
right? But so far, everything feels like nothing.
Right.
So
So you're getting hit, but it doesn't really hurt.
yeah, it hurt. I feel it, but it's not like oh, I'm almost knocked out or whatever. It's
Right.
just a lot of people hitting
Right.
me,
Right.
right?
I mean,
So
it's drunk people.
I have this guy.
You're fighting drunk people.
I have this guy, and he's getting smashed like bad, like he's all fucked up.
The guy
Right.
that you were using as a shield.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's really he's bad. And he's like, stop. They keep hitting, right? They don't listen to him. And then I'm like, yo, I need fucking help. I'm fucking dying over here. And this guy's like, guy, I got problems. So as soon as we're both getting attacked,
Right.
the other guy had gotten knocked out.
One of your friends.
The original guy with the fucking thing here got knocked out
Okay.
that I saved from the beginning. So,
And by the way, you're a good friend for jumping in to save your retarded friends.
watch. So then the big guy, he kicks somebody in the face,
Your big guy or the other big guy?
breaks a toe.
Your
Our
big
big
guy.
guy. Our big
Okay.
guy. Their big guy is still, I still have him, and he's still getting rained on.
Okay, he's your shield. Their big guy is your shield.
They're like crazy, and then they're hitting him 80% of the time. So, I look and I see my buddy. He's zero help, and I'm fucking like begging for help. And then what I see, he kicks somebody, and he goes down.
He said he breaks his toe.
Big mistake. Yeah, he broke his toe when he kicked somebody because he's hitting them.
Right.
You know, they're coming at him, but he's too big. You can't get through that when you're. That guy's pretty athletic. So when he goes down, they fucked him up bad.
Yeah.
Kicked his face. Then a couple of the guys from my thing ran over there when he fell.
And this is all in like a minute.
They
or
got
two,
off
right?
of me. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes. This is pretty
Wow.
bad. And it was later, and it was not where the main streets were. This
Okay.
was heading out.
All
So
right.
the cops took forever to get there.
Okay.
So when he goes down, they're fucking stomping on his head, kicking him. So now I'm like, I'm still getting hit, but I'm like, now I gotta go help this guy because he's gonna die there. He's just
Right.
like fucking laying there getting kicked. And he's still trying to like do this, but
Which is the
He's, like,
reason why I
screaming in
haven't gotten into
pain.
any street fights.
he's screaming
I don't
in
wanna
pain.
die.
We're attacked. I'm not starting a fight. My friend, maybe you could,
Right.
whatever. So, so I get up. I fucking look at this guy's the biggest scare for me because he's like your size, a little bigger. The other guys are like little kids.
The shield.
Like, yeah, the shield guy. So I look at him. He's super fucked up. I'm like, all right, that guy is no. The whole time I'm getting hit,
Right.
right? So as soon as I like fucking just let him go because he's like
Like in your head, you
He-
have like a triage where you're like,
he has taken.
this is important.
This is the most
This is not
important
so
guy.
important. This is not
Not-
so important.
yeah.
And the non-important people are hitting you in the face. You're like,
But of everything that has happened, 70% of the time has been me against the wall with him over my face. He's getting hit.
that's funny.
Yeah. So, and then my
their
friends
friends are
screaming
still
at
trying
me,
to hit
like,
him.
"Oh, help you! I'm fucking getting." The most amount of people are attacking me.
Bring
Right.
me your shield.
Yeah, help you. And plus, I'm half his size, so it's hilarious. So then I get up, I see the two guys, and when I look at this guy, he's fucked up. So I get up and I fucking hit the guy a couple times. Like he might have hit me back. I don't know, man. The other guys hit me from the back. I turn around, I try to grab him. He runs away. Then I run over there and I like knock a couple kids down. I stand in there. I'm like, get up, guys. He's like, my foot's broken. So then finally, he kind of like gets seated and they fucking come and occasionally they kick him and shit. So the cops finally come, right?
Thank God.
So we got mangled, right? Bad. So our other friends over there knocked out and they fucked them all up too. And then the cop comes. The guy's like, don't go anywhere. And then he's, why were you fighting with those kids? And I'm like, they're fucking trying to kill us, dude. And right. This guy, my friend, the big guy, he can't even talk. He's all fucked up. The other
one who
guy
got
was
knocked
knocked out. No, the guy who
Wow,
broke
the
his
big
foot.
guy who broke his foot.
He's
can't
all
talk.
fucked. They fucked him all up. That's the funny part. He looked like Toxic Avenger. His face was like this.
He looked like Junior Dos Santos.
Deformed. Yeah. And then he's the guy who has the interview on Monday.
It sucks.
So for this lock job, so he's pissed now more because of the thing. But the cop says, "You guys, we got to see what happened or whatever." And we're like, "Oh, the whole time, like we got attacked, by this gang." And he's like, "Yeah, I know those guys are bad, but whatever." He goes, "All right, we saw some footage from somewhere, like a
What?
fucking
He's
business.
from the future.
No, from a business."
They didn't have much back then.
And then he says, you could see that you guys were like trying to stop and they were attacking, whatever. He goes, we're going to go to the hospital and then check this guy because his face looks hilarious. And then me and the other guy are okay, but then like I had a white shirt and had footprints all over it.
You and the guy who got knocked out. Were
Yeah,
okay.
we're okay. We got
Got
in a
it.
fight, but we're not like, for this guy's fucking head. We could just go continue partying, whatever. So I'm all scratched up like my knees and shit like that, but he's not too fucked up. And then my friend he looks bad. But I had like a white shirt, like totally white, and it was all full of footprints.
That's awesome.
It's super. My friend's like, look at your shirt. I'm like, I didn't even notice that. I was just covered in footprints. And I was never on the floor. So imagine these guys were both
Right.
on the floor getting kicked and shit. So, and then like, probably like when we got back to the hotel, I felt like I couldn't. And then for like 2 weeks, my job wouldn't. I got hit a bunch, but whatever. So I'm like, are we still staying here or what's going on? And this guy's like, guy, look at my face. I have to go home and just ice it. So we just left. So that was our.
Wow. So you guys went back home that
was
night?
That was our. Yep, same night. We
That was
went
your
down,
almost
we went
getting
down.
laid and getting into a fight. at
Super
Fantasy
close,
Fest.
yeah. And then that chick was gone.
Was that your first time at Fantasy Fest?
And
only time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I had gone once before, but I didn't go to Fantasy Fest. We went like to Lobster or something with somebody's
Lobster Fest.
family. No, like somebody's family that did lobstering.
No, Lobster Fest is Red Lobster. Lobster Fest.
I've been to that several times. The butter's my favorite, obviously. But
So
whatever.
Let's go back to Trayvon Martin.
All right, so Trayvon Martin. So what are we doing?
We were
again?
talking about Masada Ayub.
Right. So he nailed down the facts, and in the facts, Zimmerman should be acquitted. Which I don't know if he wrote it before or after. And he goes, the media is the real enemy here because they're lying to people. They're putting up pictures of him as a child. They're lightening up. It's criminal. What they're doing should be criminal. And that's just things that they got caught on. I mean, their language is ridiculous, and what they're saying and that they're killing children that's the most ridiculous thing ever. This is a private citizen. It's not like the cops have a system, an institution of fucking black anything. So this whole thing is that they've pretty much gotten rid of it in all corporations and in policing. They've gotten rid of it
They've gotten rid of what?
compared to like the 60s and shit like that.
They've gotten rid of what?
Racism in
I disagree.
Okay, and so in most big cities,
They
it's
do
run by
profile.
black people, mayors, police chiefs.
That's right, the mayor of
state
Miami's
attorney.
black.
Almost everybody's fucking black, and it still goes on. You know why? Because they're fucking criminals. That's why. Because if you're gonna police them at all, hey, guess what? They're criminals.
What?
They gotta go to jail. They're gonna get into shit with cops because they're fucking criminals. So there is no racism when when they have a blow up in St. Louis. Everybody's black. 90% of the cops are black. The mayor's black. The state attorney's black. The police chief is black. Everybody's fucking black. What are you complaining about?
Uncle Tom.
It's fucking hilarious. And then they'll put a picture of the guy and then say he's a victim, or put the video like the last second when he gets shot, not the 45 minutes beforehand when he's fucking being ridiculous. There's videos where I've been wrong, where I've been against the cop, and then I see the whole video, and then it's like, now you see the way that they fuck with the video,
Right.
fuck with the facts, and straight lie. And it could go both ways.
Like
And the cops do that shit too.
a lot of times you'll see a video, and
But
it's
the
like,
media
the video's,
does that in an evil way.
the video's 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's because the guy started recording
All right.
at a certain point, and you don't get to see what happened
Right.
before then.
There was one picture on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember it. Maybe I'll find it one day and show it to you. A lady's handcuffed
Mm-hmm.
on a curb. Handcuffed. And a cop, a big fucking cop, is going to kick her in the face.
I don't remember that.
He's like this. He's standing like this, and he's like that.
okay.
About to kick her in the face.
She had
Like,
a
the foot's
mosquito.
right here.
She had a mosquito.
A mosquito? No. And I always thought, like, what kind of fucking coward do you have to be to kick a fucking handcuffed woman? That's ridiculous. It's bad
Uh-huh.
enough you kick a handcuffed guy,
Uh-huh.
but a fucking woman. But then I saw the video of that.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
100% justified.
What was it?
She was sitting there. She had gotten in a fight. That's it. That looks bad, right? I seen that for years and thought that cop's a faggot. That cop's the biggest pussy ever.
Okay.
But guess what?
So what happened?
Justified as fuck.
What happened?
They were fighting. They arrested her. When they sat her on the curb, the guy went up to like talk to her or turn to talk somewhere, and she kicked his fucking knee. Which, bro, if you kick my knee, I'll shoot you in the fucking face. I'll beat you to death because you can blow the guy's knee out easy. So him turning and kicking her in the face is not that bad.
That's even illegal in MMA.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. So it's one
not
thing.
illegal.
It's it's not.
Teep kick.
Whatever. So anyway, that's my take on that, and other things I've seen before. If you see the whole thing, whatever.
I'm watching the video now.
You're watching a video of the cop.
Well, it's
Kicking her in
like a
the
news
face?
story.
Oh yeah, fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so what else?
Mm,
What time is it?
late.
I think we're done.
Yeah, it's 11.
Oh my God, 11?
Yeah.
I wanted to go only to 10. Oh fuck, this is over. All right, is this over? What else were we talking about?
No, it's just write
Trayvon?
it down. Yeah.
So let me just tell you about the Trayvon thing. So
she kicked the cop in the
kicked
knee.
at his knee.
Oh, that lady's
Here,
super
let me
weak.
kick you in the knee.
That lady's super weak. Come on.
Let me kick you in the knee.
That's super weak.
Let me kick you in the kneecap. I'll
You're the
hyperextend.
weakest- You're the weakest.
But
The
it
guy
justifies
even
him
checked the
kicking
kick.
her.
The guy even checked the kick.
Nah, let me see it again.
That guy
me
checked
see
the
it again.
kick.
This is altered footage.
Let
me see it again.
Look. I'm gonna get you a jerk.
No, right there. That's fine. That's fine. She's attacking him. It doesn't matter that he checked that guy could have bad knees. You don't know that. He could have a fake leg. He could be an Iraqi IED. No, that's justified. That's justified.
Boom.
Anyway. All right, so look, the Trayvon thing. So then I had wealthy people who are intelligent, college graduates, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Can you believe this Trayvon, this Zimmerman guy? And I'm like, that guy's justified. I can't believe you said that. He did this and they're killing black children. And no, they're not. You're making that shit up. And if you're, they're like fly off the handle. Like if they're 100% right
Mhm.
and you're 100% wrong. And that I had those conversations with those people until I figured, like, I'm never going to talk to these idiots again. If you're that dumb, I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm not going to do it. Let somebody else have that conversation, like you said, to be nice and talk them into some sense. I'm not going to do it. If you're not like close friend or somebody I like, or it's over. You're retarded. I can't help you. I can't help you. Somebody else could help you.
Right. I mean,
but
it's not
can't.
your duty. It's not your
I
duty.
can't. I can't do it.
And if you don't want to do it, you don't
I'm not
have to
gonna
do
get stressed if you think that Trayvon is a sweet 12-year-old that got killed. Why don't they just show his infant picture?
it.
Why don't they do that?
They're killing babies.
They're killing babies. Yeah, it's awesome when you see that lady. They're killing our children. Who's killing your children exactly? Some fat security guard? Are you fucking serious? 17 is not a baby. You're beating a guy to death. That's what Masaba Yuba. If that's not justified time to shoot somebody,
No, that's
when is there a time
when
to
you're losing,
shoot somebody?
When you're losing consciousness?
You gotta wait till you're losing Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
So he didn't shoot the guy when he jumped out of the bushes.
Correct.
He didn't shoot him when he said, "Hey, why are you following me?"
Right.
He didn't shoot him when he hit him once.
Right.
He shot him on like the 5th punch.
When he's getting his head bounced off the
Luckily,
concrete.
he was able to get his gun, or he might have died.
Right.
Oh, he's a pussy. Guy's ass kicked.
Well, yeah.
I've seen people die on
Yeah.
one punch.
Right.
So
No, I
just saying.
agree 100%.
So when that's why a guy like Masada Ayub is really good, because he is the expert on a lot of these big.
He's
Trials?
Arab.
Is he? No, I think he's just.
No, he's Arab.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. The guy is
Oh, Andy, we're
It-
getting close to that 10%.
only matters.
You're
15.
getting.
It's
You're,
15.
Oh, okay, 15.
But yep, the further above for Arabs, it might be 10%.
Uh-huh.
I might have to lower that. I think it is lower,
I think you'd said
or
10%.
even 5%.
I think you said 10%.
No, 15% for black people. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna alter it.
Okay.
5% for Muslims.
Okay, so 5% for Muslims,
Yeah, because they're worse.
10% for black people.
No,
and-
no. 15% is the tipping point.
15% is a tipping point.
Yeah, where you gotta go.
It's too late.
You just gotta leave.
It's too late. That's
Yeah.
when. That's your exit point.
Yes.
Okay, it's 15%.
Yeah.
And then.
No.
your-
My exit point is anything above 1%. If I can. 15% is
You're out of the country.
as soon as possible get out.
Like
No, as soon as possible get away from
Kids,
that.
kids. I packed a bag for you.
No.
We're going to the
It
airport.
depends on the situation. If we just go like to the movies or something like that. And you
Oh, okay.
I've
So
been
your-
in those situations.
your percentage
but you
is
wanna
if you're at
you
a
wanna
party,
minimize your time in those situations.
if you're at a party
anywhere.
and there's 15% or more
Yes.
black people,
Yeah.
you're out of there. So at the movies,
No.
you do a quick scan.
No, if you can, if you won't, if you
Can you get your money back? Would I be? I'm at a movie. Would I be able to get my money back?
Yeah.
yes, I can leave, and then you leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've been at like football games and there's more. And so you could do it, but you don't want to spend the more time you spend at the higher percentages,
hmm
the worse everything is. And the more time you spend at the lower percentages, the better everything is.
Okay. I'm not sure I understand, but it's
Is that,
okay.
is that what we're going to end on?
Yeah.
But the Muslims is different. The Muslims, I've seen that actually. People do that.
That's at 5%.
At 1%, they are everybody's best friend in a country when they go take over a country. At 1%, they're everybody's best friend, and they might start like groups.
So
but
you're at a
they're
party. You're at a
peaceful
party.
Groups.
You're at
No,
a party.
Forget the party thing.
Okay.
This is like real. They've showed what they've done in other countries. At 2%, they start to organize protests, and they start to organize groups that are not peace promoting groups. Now they're promoting Islam shit and Muslim shit, and they could even start to protest.
Zionists.
No, just Muslim. And then at 3%, they start to get more.
They start
In a
suing
different
local
country.
businesses.
Yeah. You
You've
think
told
that's a
us
joke?
before. No, you've
Right.
told me this
Yeah,
before.
all right. So then it goes up and up and up. And at a very low percentage, like 30%, they take over the country or the area or whatever. It's a very low percentage.
But wouldn't
At
any group do that though?
50%, no.
Any minority group?
But they don't try to institute Sharia,
Sharia
law.
law.
But you're doing it as a joke when they're actually doing it in
Well, I'm
places.
trying to. I don't know enough about this.
You're mocking
Guy, I
it.
don't care, guy.
You're
Guy, I mock
mocking it.
everybody.
You're
Yes, I mock
mocking
you.
it,
You're
but
fat.
No, but you're mocking it. It would, you guy, when you have B cup tits, you can't be calling people fat. All of your blubber goes to your tits. It's like a chick. You're like a chick.
I'm
All
lucky
right,
that
we're
way.
done here.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
Listen up, maggots. You are not special.